Yeah. Hey, we live. All the way live. Lakeside. All right, Shalom. We are the Hebrew Israelites. We come out week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom called America, also known as Babylon in the scriptures. But before we do so, we want to give praises to the Most High and His Son in the Paleo Hebrew. All right. We just did a lesson prior to this, but it was like an ambush. We got ambushed, by some scoffers. But so this lesson we definitely want to give praises to the Most High and the Son, man, the proper way. We're gonna say Kal, Halayim, La, Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Ha, Rakah, Kodash, Ma'amah. All right, double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders, and shalom to Iuic and Nagwatim and children that believe in sincerity truth around the four corners of the earth, man. All right, shalom. But this lesson right here is gonna be based upon the fringes. And you say fringes, the first name pop into your head would be Iuic. All right, because that's their thing. I go to all the damn Walmarts in the city, I can't find no damn fringes. I tried to buy some fringes for my garments, I had to look all over the place. Why Iuic buying all that? See that? They put fringes on everything, t-shirts, everything. Ain't no more. You look all over the city. God damn, So, this is the thing, man. We're going to go into some precepts to show that it's not about wearing fringes, man. That was our custom in the ancient times. But right now, the Lord said what? Somebody get that discontinued from the heritage?
Jeremiah 17:4.
Thank you, man. All right, the Lord said that, man. We're going to get a precept real quick.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4. And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
Right, and our enemies was the Caucasian race, the Edomites. All right, so that was our enemies. So we served them in slavery. Now it's their time to serve us for 1,000 years. All right, so he said, what? We're going to discontinue from our heritage, and we're going to be called by bywords and proverbs. And also, what else? We good?
Yeah, we good.
All right, and also, we're going to lose these ways, man, but we're going to be brought back to them.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Does somebody want to get Baruch 2 and 30 before I do?
Yep. Baruch 2 and 30. Let's get this real quick, man. Let's kind of do an opening.
All right. This is Baruch chapter 2, verse 30.
Yep.
For I knew that they would not hear me because it is a stiff-necked people.
Right.
But in
No, you good, good.
But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves.
Right, in the land of our captivities. This is one of those places, America. All right, where we remember in our ways, man, that the Lord gave to us. All going all the way back to Moses, the laws of Moses. And one of those customs in the book of Numbers, we're going to go into it, was how a man was supposed to dress being a priest. All right, and he's supposed to what? Put fringes on the border of his garment. But now, today, you can wear fringes. That's cool. But is that going to get you any points with the Lord? No. All right. The Lord would rather you keep the laws to the best of your ability, and to the best of your ability. That's just it. But you wear fringes when you come out here and teach. In the everyday life, you don't have to wear fringes. But Iuic, they seem to think so. Or when you walk up to them, the first thing they say is, "Where's your fringes?" All right. So let's get this real quick. Can somebody get Mark 7 and 6? Everything cool over there? 15%. Yeah, Mark 7 and 6.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 7, verse 6. He answered and said unto them,
I left my charger.
well have Isaiah prophesied of you hypocrites.
Oh, Salaki, can you read that again?
All right, this is the book of St. Mark, chapter 7.
And we're speaking about Iuic and their false doctrine. Go ahead.
Verse 6. He answered and said unto them, well have Isaiah prophesied of you hypocrites.
Right, so even Isaiah already prophesied of these hypocrites that they're going to be around in these days and during the time of Yahweh Shai. All right, it was hypocrites. Watch your back. Hope those brakes work. All right, all right. Yeah, we're talking shit. It was good.
As it is written, this This people honor me with their lips.
Right. You can honor the Lord all you want, saying I believe this or that. Right. When I talked to somebody the other day, they said, yeah, man, I met a camp out there by Ramona and they had on purple. Is that y'all guys? I said, no, we're against them. Let me explain why. One, they teach the name is Jesus, but you ask them their personal name, they have Hebrew names. And they teach that the Sabbath is on Friday to Saturday. And they teach, what else? That you gotta wear your fringes. They teach that the new moon is the full moon. All right. Right. They got the name of the Lord wrong. Right. So they're basically today those same Pharisees and Sadducees, man.
And they teach you only get salvation through the law.
Right. They teach that you only get salvation through the law. All right. And that's completely wrong. That takes away from the sacrifice that Yahushua made, man, for our people. Okay. And they act just like the wicked scribes and Pharisees, not the righteous ones. Go ahead, brother. 76.
But their heart is far from me.
Right. So they out there talking and boasting. I told the guy, I said, yo, when he told me about them teaching, he said, yo, they teach just like y'all though. They out there saying we Israelites and oh yeah, they entry level. You know? But you know, they honor the Lord with their mouth, but their heart is far from them. You see that? They're saying they believe in the Lord. But the heart, the la'ab, the mind, is going to be what? The Lord said he's going to put the spirit of Yahushua in our hearts crying out, Abba, Father. See that? And Abba is Hebrew. So we're going to be calling out in the Lord's name, man, Yahushua, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And they're not doing that. They're saying Jesus. Even with their name, Israelites united in Christ. The Lord's name is not Christ. Go ahead, brother.
Howbeit, in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines and commandments of men.
Right. So they're teaching the commandments of men. People like Nate Satan. All right. Nathaniel 7 of the Iuic. Okay. They're teaching that. As soon as you walk up, wear your fringes out. It ain't about that, man. It's about the spiritual fringe of the heart. It's about the spiritual covenant that the Lord is making. You know, there's nothing you can do in this flesh that can keep you from being, that can give you a clean slate with Yahweh. Only thing you can do in this flesh is come out here and follow in the steps that Yahweh showed us to do. To be clean, to be given that white stone. All right. And by white, I don't mean the Caucasians. They're red. Go ahead, brother.
This Psalms 51:10. Create in me a clean heart, O Yahweh, and renew a right spirit within me.
That's the point, Iuic. You know, you need to be telling people that to create in them a clean heart. Yeah, the clean heart gonna lead them to the lost. You know, but it's supposed to lead you to what? The spirit of Yahushua, or the spirit of truth, and the la'ab. Okay. Yeah, you can clean the outside of the garment, right? That's where you going?
No.
You can clean the outside of the cup, but they gotta clean the inside of the cup. I'm gonna get some of these too. I think you're bringing some up.
My bad. You got Jeremiah 4:3.
Oh, let me check my list. What you just brought up?
I just brought out of Psalms 51 and
yeah, Psalm 50. Yeah, you brought out Psalm 51 and 10. Okay, I got a few I want to get off of that.
Appreciate.
Good. You have one?
Oh yeah.
No, you have to.
Jeremiah chapter 4:4. Circumcise yourselves to the Lord and take away the foreskins of your heart.
Right.
Yeah,
not good.
Ye men of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem, lest my fury come forth like fire and burn that none can quench it because of your evil, because of the evil of your doing.
Right. So it's circumcision of the heart, right? But I'm gonna stick to the fringe. I'm gonna focus on this fringe. All right. So let's get that. Let's start with that. Somebody get Matthew 23:1.
It's Matthew chapter 23, verse 1. Then spake Yahushua to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat.
Right. So the scribes and Pharisees, they sit in Moses' seat, calling themselves priests and prophets, right? Oh, they were basically like the lawgivers at that time. Go ahead.
Verse 3.
What's up, man? You got a question? Okay. So, let me know when you're ready.
Go
ahead.
Verse 3. All therefore, whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do.
Right. So you see Iuic, they're telling you to keep the laws. Yeah, keep the laws. But you know, people tell you to keep the law. Yeah, I'm gonna try my best. You know, but what they're saying, observe and do. But go ahead.
But do not ye after their works.
Oh, right, because their works are off, man. See, they become hypocrites. That's the definition of a hypocrite, man. Telling you to keep the law, but they're not keeping the law themselves. You walk up to them, they got all kind of edge ups. The Lord saying you're supposed to have no edge up. You know, they're calling on the wrong name, Jesus, when the Lord's name is Yahushua. All right, not Yahweh, not Yeshua, not none of these names. All right, not Yiddish. We don't deal with Yiddish. Go ahead.
For they say and do not.
Right, so they say to do it, but they're not keeping the law perfectly. They holding the Sabbath on Friday and Saturday. That's not the Sabbath. According to the Bible, the Sabbath goes according to the new moon. See that? All right, and you know, so go ahead. So they're saying it, but they do not. All right, they'll tell you to keep the law, but they got what? Edge ups. They'll tell you to wear your fringes, but you ask them about their garments, and the Lord said we're not supposed to wear mixed fabrics. And they fabrics will be mixed. Go ahead, brother. Oh, go ahead. That was it. Over the 9.
Verse 4, Matthew 23. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers.
Right, so they bind heavy burdens upon people, man. As soon as you walk up, take your hat off, brother. Shit, I'll be damned.
Hey,
It's not joke. Yeah, man, goddamn it. No, hell no. That's why you can't just tell everybody to take their hat off. So, take the hat off. Then say, hey, wear your fringes. All these different things. Have them marching in order. Marching up the street, meeting up just to march through the city. Marching with Masons. One of the brothers put that in the chat. You know, and the Lord ain't say do none of that. Just like Gabar did a lesson on it. You know, all around the world is running and shit. Yeah, man, this goes into that. Go ahead, precept, interjection. Go ahead.
This is Matthew chapter 23, verse 4. Verse 4.
Oh, start from 1. Go ahead.
All right. Start from 1.
Start from 1. You gotta go to 9.
All right. Then spake Yahushua to the multitude, to his disciples.
Wait, you read 23?
Go on.
He already on it.
Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
You got that's the spirit. That's the spirit though.
Go
ahead.
You want me to start from 4? I was at verse 5.
7-4.
It's Matthew 23 and 4. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. But all their works they do, for to be seen of men, they make broad their phylacteries and enlarge the borders of their garments.
Right, so they what?
It says they make broad their phylacteries,
right, those purple garments,
and enlarge the borders of their garments.
Right, that's right, man. It's all about the garments to them. Every time you see somebody, they say, you see them doing the purple garments?
That's funny.
Who is their leader? Barney? Right?
Verse 6, Matthew 23.
Oh, yeah, basically it is an old ass dinosaur. Go ahead, brother. I'm wrong being old, but go ahead.
And love the uppermost rooms at feasts and the chief seats in the synagogue.
Right, so they love the uppermost rooms at the read again.
And love the uppermost rooms at feasts.
Right, so at feasts they love to sit in the uppermost rooms. Go ahead.
And if I may add on to that too, with the Passover just passing not too long ago, man. Hey, what was that whole catchphrase of the whole Passover, man? I'm back. You know, hey, why? Because he was on the sick bed, Nick the Snake of IUIC. So therefore, hey, they love the upper seats in the
That's next part. That's next part.
All right, verse 6. It says, and love the uppermost rooms at feasts and the chief seats in the synagogues.
Right, there you go. So you go into their congregation, and you sit in their class, they all sitting up on the damn podium. You know?
And that's actual psychological power thing that's taught by Esau. If you ever notice these companies, when you have company meetings, they make everybody else sit down while they're standing up.
It's like a judge in court.
Right. That's them being higher over you, meaning having rule over you. It's a psychological thing.
That's not a spiritually house. He came in riding on a donkey.
Yeah, yep. And ISUPK do the same thing. You go into their damn congregation in Philadelphia, and they got the podium up high, and they sitting up there. And the class sitting down below. Yep. Real quick. We gotta go to
verse 7. And greetings in the markets, and to be called of men, Rabbi, Rabbi.
Right. So in that term, you can call him saying what? Nathaniel is King David. Oh no, who they say?
Elijah.
They try to say Nathaniel is Elijah.
What?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? The bishop is back, calling him bishop. The bishop. You know, we say bishop now, but but it's different how they say it.
Yeah, it's totally different. Like,
yeah, it's like a worship.
Yeah.
It's like a worship thing with them, man.
Fine.
Interjection. Bro, let me just finish. Let's just flow. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 8, Matthew 23. But be not ye called Rabbi, for one is your master, even Yahushua HaMashiach, and all ye are brethren.
Right, that's right. We all brothers, man. Even though we have elders and apostles, but we still all brothers. That's why you hear the apostles saying Akim, you know? They say Ak to each other and the other brother in the camp.
I don't.
Yeah, come on.
All right, and the thing about it is, the reason why this shit is it's so serious is because they protect Nathaniel's name versus the Lord's name.
Ooh.
They tell you can call the Lord whatever you want, but let you say Nathaniel's name wrong. They defend it.
Damn it. Yeah, don't say Nathaniel's name wrong. Go ahead, Ak.
Verse 9, Matthew 23. And call no man your father upon the earth, for one is your father which is in heaven.
That auto verse 9? That
was verse 9.
Okay, come on. I think it was another verse though. But go ahead. Who had a precept?
Oh, you want me to go to 10 and say neither be? Verse 10 it says, neither be ye called masters.
Oh no, that's not it. Go ahead.
This is Sirach chapter 3, verse 19. It says, many are in high place and of renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek. So as it was being stated, you know, they desire the chief seats and the upper rooms and to sit up high and to look down. But it says, though, you know what I'm saying, many are in high places, but it says the secrets of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua is revealed unto the meek.
Right,
it's not revealed unto Nathaniel and his constituents and all these self-appointed high priests and stuff like that. It's given unto the lowly. It's given unto the humble. Those who submit themselves under the power and spirit of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua in truth and sincerity. That's who the mysteries are revealed to. So a lot of these cats in these high places, just because they're up in those positions, don't mean they know anything.
Right. This ain't a fashion show, man. You know?
Tell them that.
That's right, man. So it's about the fringe of the heart, man. Somebody could be wicked as hell and still have fringes. It ain't about that, man. It's about the cleansing of the heart. Go ahead, brother.
This is Romans chapter 8 and verse 5. For they are after the flesh, do mind the things of the flesh. But the things that are the spirit are things of the spirit. For to be carnal minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
There you go, man. So they worrying about the carnal stuff, man, which is going to lead them to being judged. The Lord said, yo, you want to be held under the law? I'm going to hold you there. And I'm going to judge you according to the law. And you're going to fail. If we get judged according to Yahushua, we won't fail. Go ahead, brother.
It's the book of James, chapter 2 and verse 10. For whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point,
there you go.
He is guilty of all.
That's right, man. Yep. So yeah, and that's just it. You know, you offended one damn point, you're guilty of all. So we need Yahushua. That's why we got to know His name.
Right, because what is Yahushua is coming to judge the earth according to the law for wickedness, right? But He's judging the elect according to His mercy. So if you're trying to hold on to the law, because Yahweh sent Yahushua down there like, hey, I'm judging the whole earth because of the law, right? But I need you to bring salvation to those that are of the elect. So they're going to be judged according to my mercy, and you are my mercy. So that sacrifice that Yahushua made was, that's why Paul said, what all the law could not do, faith stepped in and uphold me through Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. Right. So therefore, the Most High is coming. That's why it says, we shall all appear in front of the judgment seat of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua based upon the things that we have done in our bodies, whether it be good or whether it be bad. So according to that, if the Most High looks at you to judge you, right, and He sees the image of your flesh, and He sees who you are as a person, you're going to be judged according to the law.
Hell yeah, filthy rags. Boy.
Right, because our righteousness is that filthy rags.
Yeah.
And what does it say in Ecclesiastes 7:20? There's no just man upon earth that does good and sinneth not. So we need salvation on other terms, not according to the law. That's why Yahweh Shai is our mediator.
Right, man. Let's just bring these out real quick. I want to get to the lesson too. That's a good point.
Yeah, I got to present back up.
This is Matthew chapter 23, verse 25. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye make clean the outside of the cup.
Right, can you go to 24? Go over to 28.
All right. Starting at verse 24, Matthew 23. Ye blind guides,
Come on, man.
which strain at a net.
There you go. That's the name. That's the title of the lesson. All right. Ye blind guides, man. He said what? Blind leaders of the blind, and both gonna fall into a ditch. I'm glad we went there. Because what? Blind guys. Let's break this down. Go ahead. This is a parable.
Ye blind guides, which strain at a net,
right,
and swallow a camel.
There you go. Go ahead.
Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees.
Oh, go ahead. I'm gonna break that down. So he said what? Read again.
Ye blind guides, which strain at a net.
Right. They strain at a net. So they basically treat the stuff that doesn't matter. They treat that like it's important. All right, go ahead.
So they strain at a Nate.
Yeah, they strain at a Nate. Yeah, yep. But yeah, so the stuff that's not important, like the fringes and all that, they real precise with that. They focusing on it. Go ahead.
And swallow a camel.
Right, but the weightier matters, which is the doctrine, the truth, the spirit of truth. They treat that carelessly, like they boasting like they almost to the point like they can even swallow a camel like it's nothing. So they treat the weightier matters like they're nothing, and they treat the net. They focus on it. All right, that's what that means. So they treating the law, the fringes, and all that more important than the spiritual walk. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 25. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you make clean the outside of the cup,
right,
and of the bladder, but within they are full of extortion and excess.
Right, man, full of extortion, making merchandise of the people. As soon as you join that camp, they say, hey man, you get moved up in the ranks, you can start selling your merchandise within the congregation. Look at Bishop Kanai. I remember that happened. Now he's back in the camp. So it's like a bunch of confusion, man. All right, go ahead. It's a very petty topic too, man. To deal with, you gotta wear your fringes. That shows that they're straining at a net and swallow a camel, man. They're treating the truth and the spirit of Yahweh Shai and the name of Yahweh Shai like it's not important, man. That's the wide sea. All right, go ahead, brother. You got it.
Come on, quick. This is Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil,
right,
that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
That's beautiful.
Strain out of that. Worrying about the lesser things if they're heavy, and not worrying about the heavy things. They're calling them less things.
Right, you got it. That's right, brother. Come on.
IUIC was on my street.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, IUIC was on my street the other day. They'll ask me questions. I ain't in church there. Well, I kind of tap dance around it without letting them know too much. So at the end of the conversation, you already got your beard. Now you just need your fringes. Get him a flyer. Get him a flyer.
I told you. See, they probably send somebody out to buy it, go to Walmart, take more fringes. And that person like me show up, I want to make a new garment. I can't find no damn fringes in the city. Go ahead.
Verse 26 of Matthew 23. Thou blind Pharisees, cleanse first that which is within the cup,
right? So that's what we are here teaching. After the spirit of our leaders, the apostles of GMS, right? The elder apostles of GMS, and ultimately Yahweh Shai. He said, "What? Clean the inside of the cup, and deal with the outside later." So when a brother get into this truth, that's why what's that? Spirit of wisdom will walk with you.
Get with you in crooked ways in the verse. Okay.
When you first come into this truth, you're not going to be perfect, because how else would the Gentiles be delivered? The Israelite Gentiles, they didn't know to keep the law. They didn't know to keep the law, so they had to be saved some kind of way, and that was through Yahweh Shai.
This is Sirach chapter 4. You want me to just get straight to it?
Yeah.
Okay, this is Sirach chapter 4. We start at 11.
Okay.
Verse 11. Wisdom exalteth her children and layeth.
That's right. Wisdom is going to exalt her children, not money. See, they think that gain is godliness. That's why everybody want to join that camp. But the wide is the way. wide is the gate that leadeth to destruction, and narrow is the way that leadeth unto life everlasting. All right, we know that, man. It's a long. You got marriages going on. That's not like a hater, don't it?
Yeah.
You got married. You get married. Look at you. You know, right? But we're just marrying that. But they doing all of that, man. And what did Apostle Tahar just say? He said, we had all our women, we'd be comfortable here. A lot of those dudes are comfortable. A lot of those dudes comfortable in that 501c3 charter.
That's why they're trying to build on the foundation of Babylon. That's why they want to build communities here.
Communities.
Because they're comfortable here. They want to commune with Babylon.
They want to be united in Serapis Christi. All right, Jesus Christos.
That's right, man. Under the wrong covering. So they messing everything all up, man. All right, that's the wide gate, the filter. Go ahead, brothers.
Quick interjection.
Definitely. Go ahead.
It's Psalms 127:1. Except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchman waketh but in vain.
Wow, that broke it up. And they're building in vain. See that when the prophecies play out. Yeah. When the prophecies play out, that's what's going to judge them. When the Lord bring the prophecies to pass, like the MOTB, they don't teach about that.
It's June.
Yeah, it's June. See that? But when these prophecies play out, a lot of people are going to leave that congregation. And they're going to throw them damn garments in the trash.
And the fringes.
And the fringes, I guess. Yeah, you know, give me some fringes. Took all of them out the store.
Verse 27 of Matthew 23. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are like unto whited sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward.
Yeah, you look at the grave, that joint look beautiful. You know, they set it all up, dress it all nice, but it's full of dead bones. Go ahead.
But are within full of dead men's bones.
See that? So they got 1,000 men march at IUIC. That's dry bones. Walking, a bunch of skeletons walking, looking like a Sinbad movie. Go ahead, brother.
And of all uncleanness.
Right. And full of filthiness that you will find in the grave, man. The Lord hates that congregation, man. It's clear because of the doctrine. See that? So it's more than just the fringes. That's just part of the fruit that their tree is bearing. You know? Go ahead.
Even so, ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men.
No, I don't want to explain too much. But he said what? And also he was comparing it parabolically, saying they seem to be righteous to men. Go ahead. That's what IUIC. You walk by and see a group of men holding the Bible. That's why the Lord said, try every spirit by the Spirit. Don't just believe us. Come up and ask us questions, man. Yeah, interjection?
Yeah,
go ahead.
It's like 6 verses.
Wait till right after this.
Gotcha.
Go ahead.
Verse 28.
No, it takes too long.
Yeah,
even so,
right after this.
ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity.
Come on with it, man. Where you at?
Verse 28.
Oh, what?
Matthew 23.
Okay. That's right, man. So yeah, they're full of see that's right there, man. All right. So the Lord said they're full of hypocrisy. Aren't they showing us that they're hypocrites, man? They say one thing and do another.
All right, hey, just a quick,
just
to chime in. All right, me and the brother, our car, all right, we ran into this individual at IUIC. We ran into him numerous of times in Jacksonville, IUIC Jacksonville. He has a bald fade. All right, he has dreads at the top with a bald fade, looking like Lil Boosie. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they don't keep the law. All right, but they preach the law. That's their whole doctrine of the law. But the law clearly says don't edge the corner of your heads,
right,
or put baldness upon your head.
That's right. We out here saying Yahweh Shai, and the kingdom and Yahweh, you know, and the prophecies to warn our people, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, that we the Israelites of the Bible. That's right, man. The Lord about to give us the kingdom. The Father's true name is Yahweh, and his son named Yahweh Shai, so-called Negro that get killed, 37 AD. All right, we about to rule. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 29 of Matthew 23.
Yeah, whenever you want to stop, so if you don't see no more points.
Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because ye build the tombs of the prophets and garnish the sepulchres of the righteous, and say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets.
Right. So yeah, so they're the same ones that killed the prophets back then. They're the ones that said, let that blood be upon us and our children. That's right, man. All right, so in these times they would have tried to put us to death if we was back in the ancient times, man. So now they're putting people to death spiritually.
They're the spiritual. That's describing as the spiritual hospice.
Yeah.
Like what is hospice do when you about to perish? They make it real comfortable for you, make it real sweet, so your mind don't even be on that you're really dying.
Hey, Con. Isaiah, 30:9. Hey, don't speak unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things. Prophesy unto us deceit, man.
Right, man. That's right. Go ahead.
Verse 30. It's like verse 31. Isaiah. It's like Matthew 23. It says, "Wherefore ye be witnesses unto yourselves that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets."
That's right. You know, they don't need to witness it. We witness it. And if not, they're going to witness it in that day when Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5, real quick. He said they're going to say this within themselves. That's right, man. Because Apostle, what's his name? Nate Satan.
Chapter 5.
Right. He was going around calling the apostles the GMS rapists, saying that they were bums, bummalites, you know. They're going to have to eat them words. Go ahead, brother.
It's the book of Jude, chapter 1, and verse, I'll get straight to the point, verse 5. "I would therefore put you in remembrance, though ye once knew this, how the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believe not." You know, so just as you had the wicked scribes and Pharisees, all right, they're willing to persecute the Lord, all right, persecute the prophets, all right.
And those are the ones bringing in those damnable heresies, man.
Yeah, they're back here today. The same ones that was in the wilderness, but that would be like polite and all them. They want to go back.
Yeah, that would be like polite.
Yeah, they want to go back into the world. You know, so yeah, but it still was a division made right in the wilderness. You know,
right. And look at these times. Why didn't the wicked scribes and Pharisees want Yahushua on the scene? Because they would have to their rulership would be taken away.
All right, because that's really in the verse prior to that, Salakia.
Yeah,
it's Jude 1 and 4. "But there are certain men crept in unawares who were before of old ordained to this condemnation. Ungodly men, turning the grace of our Lord into lavishness and denying the only Lord power and our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, because they want that glory. They want to sit in the authority seat of being the men of the Lord when the Lord didn't give them that position. Like we started off in the first scripture, they sit in the seat of Moses.
And the Lord would have gave them that position if they would just believed on me. I mean, believed on him. That's what he was saying. Believe on me. I'm the way, the truth, and the light. That's what Yahushua was saying. Right? What did he tell Peter? On the regeneration, you will be sitting on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So the Lord wants to give us rulership. He wants us to give us a high seat, but according to his will, not according to going about it our own way. And that's what they're doing. They're setting up their own foundation, trying to, you know, they're building the Tower of Babel. They're physically, carnally trying to get to the kingdom. Yeah, we're supposed to abide by the laws to the best of our ability. But if you're teaching somebody that the law is the only way that they can make it to the kingdom, if anybody in their right mind that believe that, they're going to give up. Because they're going to find this something, and like the more they get into the scriptures, they're going to find more and more and more and more and more and more laws that they're breaking, like having mixed fabric and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So now they're going to look at the scriptures as a burden. That's what I was talking about when you're laying heavy burdens in on the people, man.
We're not talking. We're not speaking about this out of like speculation. We have all spoken to IUIC. I don't know all of us, but we have spoken to IUIC members, and I said to his face. I said, so when everything is clamorous around you, what do you do? Who do you call on? He says, just follow the laws. So you telling me if a dude got a gun in my face, I'm supposed to not eat pork?
You're supposed to tell him the law states.
Right, like
thou shalt not murder.
Right, we're still not gonna eat pork though, yeah, just in case.
Right.
Asshole, Hey, somebody grab Acts 5 and 28 real quick.
I got that Wisdom of Solomon.
Yeah, right after this one. Then you still holding your John, right? That's gonna be a whole nother point. All right, somebody get that real quick.
5:28.
Acts chapter 5, verse 28.
Right.
It says, saying did Shalaki.
Oh, go to 27.
Come on. It says, and when they had brought them, they set them before the council. And the high priest asked them, saying, did not we straightly command you that you should not teach in this name?
Right, that's how you want to see. All right, they hate the Lord, man. You know, so they you know, Those same ones are back here today. And that's what Nate said to his camp. Didn't I tell you don't be teaching in that name? Go ahead, keep going.
It says, and behold,
Come on, brother.
ye have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine.
Right, so that's what we're doing. We're filling our people with the doctrine of truth. You know, and that's what the wicked scribes and Pharisees were trying to stop back then. They hated the name of the Lord that much. They didn't want that blood to be upon them. Okay, they wanted to kill the Lord and keep their power seat as the Sanhedrin.
It says, and behold, ye have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine, and intend to bring this man's blood upon us.
There you go. See that? All right. So they know that they know deep down they're gonna be judged for what happened to Yahushua, man. So they don't want to hear that name. All right.
Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said,
that's right, man. America about to be destroyed.
We ought to obey Yahweh rather than men.
That's right, man. So we supposed to obey the Most High rather than men. How do you obey the Most High? By what? Submitting under the mighty hand of the Lord, man. Following in the spirit of truth that he told to Yahushua, man. All right? To give to us. That's it on that point. Let's go, bro. Look at it.
This is
they got precepts, you know.
Sirach chapter 4, verse 28. Just to back up with the point that the brothers was making. Strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. So you strive unto the truth. That's right, unto death, meaning you fight for Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, and he'll fight for you. Look at what that was. Salaki. He called his name off the top of my head right now, but he was told not to preach in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. And what he said, we ought to obey man. Salaki, we ought to obey. That was Peter. We ought to obey God rather than man. Right. Now, and that was another example of striving for the truth.
Right. God's name is Yahweh.
God.
And his son named Yahushua.
Boom.
No hear not. Okay, yeah. All right, go ahead. Precept.
Matthew chapter 7, verse 15. It says, beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing.
Right.
But inwardly they are ravening wolves.
Right. And what's a ravening wolf? It's meant to tear you apart. In this sense, they're set up to tear you away from your salvation. All right. Go ahead. So inwardly they're ravening wolves, just like the Lord said they clean the outside of the cup, but inwardly they still wicked as hell, man. Go ahead.
It says, ye shall know them by their fruit.
Right, and you shall know them by their fruit, man. All right, the things they teaching you, wear your fringes. But what did Paul say, man? Paul says about what? Perfecting the inner man and using the inner man to convict the flesh outwardly. So you got to start with the spirit first, not the outward cup and then the spirit. No, go ahead. The spirit, the flesh doesn't overpower the outward cup doesn't overpower the inward. It's the inner man that overpowers the flesh.
It says, do men gather grapes of thorns or figs or thistles?
Right, and thistles is where you can get no fruit to grow from, man. So he gathered all them thorns, them figs from what? I mean, he gathered no fruit basically, because you can't get figs from thistles. All right, go ahead.
Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit.
All right, so the elect are going to bring forth the good fruit. What's the good fruit? The good news, man, the doctrine, all right, the truth. Not saying, hey, wear your fringes. I'm focusing on the fringes, man. They go off a lot. If you try to run down that list, you'll be exhausted. You got to deal with them in increments. Micromanage they cuts.
It says, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit.
Right, man. So that's how you know that whole house that they got, that whole community, IUIC, the law UIC, they bring that tree is a wicked tree, man. You know, a fucking barren tree with no fruit. They got fruit on it, but the fruit is rotten. You know, the root, the foundation is rotten, which makes the rest of the tree rotten. The foundation was set upon people like Nate. All right, that was it, right? All right, somebody grab numbers 15 to 28, 38. Any more precepts? Y'all can answer that real quick. All right, bro, you hold it.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 3 and verse 14. For this cause I bow my knee unto the Father of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, of whom the whole family in heaven and earth is named, that he will grant you according to the riches of his glory to be strengthened with might by his spirit in the inner man. So come on, man, it's about the inner man ultimately. You know, you can walk around with fringes all day. Like the elder always say, they clean the outside of the cup, but the inside is filthy. Right. You know what I'm saying? They never take the time to fix the inner man.
But they're too busy worried about fringes and
haircut, edge-ups, and
all these materialistic things.
Yeah, man. They don't walk around looking like a bum, but I'm saying, you know, you don't keep yourself clean. The Lord said that. Groom yourself, man. Anoint your face. You know what I mean? Anoint your face means put oil on your face, you know? Brush your teeth, stuff like that. But with IUIC, they're pushing the ideology or the mindset that gain is godliness, just like the churches do. And they're on the 501c3 charter. See, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot, man.
Come on.
You go ahead.
All right. Who's good? Yeah, you hold your good.
This is Sirach chapter 1, verse 29. It says, "Be not an hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed what thou speakest."
Right. If you call yourself a man of the Lord, you got to take heed what you speak and make sure you're not being a hypocrite. You want to finish that point?
God, yeah, and don't be a hypocrite. Like IUIC, they're hypocrites. They'll ask you where your friend is at, but you know, instead of edifying you, or as they say, they'll call the Lord by a Greek name, but they themselves have Hebrew name. That's hypocritical. That's right. Hypocrisy.
Period.
The Lord had a Hebrew name because he was from a Hebrew people, a Hebrew speaking people. Right. So that means he himself must have had a Hebrew name, not a Greek name. Right. But you know, they hypocrites in the sight of men. They want to look good, sit in the high places, but they ain't really lifting their finger.
Get the biggest fringes in America.
God.
Or they change their Greek name to a Hebrew name, all right, by surnaming themselves Israel.
Right.
But they don't give the Lord back his rightful name.
They'll say nobody supposed to know his name, but how do you get to change your name, but you can't get the Lord his name?
Everybody supposed to know Nathaniel name, and everybody supposed to know the Lord name.
Right.
In addition.
Go ahead, brother.
All right, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 12. If a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked.
God. There you go, man. It's so clear. So clear, man. The ruler has hearkened unto lies. Who's the ruler? The men that lead these camps. All right. He said to give honors to them that rule well. And ruler means you're supposed to be teaching and being an example. All right, and keeping the camps in order. But the thing is, he used to teach Nathaniel 7 used to teach the name of Yahweh. But then he casted that name aside, the true name aside. He created his own setup. You know, he created his own setup, his own community, and based it off his new doctrine. He wasn't taught all that stuff, man. He created his own doctrine, man. You know, so if the ruler hearkened to lies, all of his followers and people are wicked. All right, so you can see as many IUIC members as you want. Thousands of them marching up the street. That's a bunch of wicked dudes, man. All right, because they stepped into that fold of teaching false doctrine, and that's on them. Go ahead, bro.
All right, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 19. But there's a reason for that.
Yeah, come on.
For there must be also heresies among you, that they which are approved may be made manifest among you.
That's right, man. See, this is how the Lord is doing the sift. You know, Israel is at the sand of the sea. So he got to have some type of way to separate everybody, man. He's using the spirit of truth to do it. You know, and he's revealing in these last days who was the ones back then that was going against them. And he's revealing them through the doctrine they're teaching, the false doctrine. All right. So that's why it had to be made. That's why this is happening. So it could be manifest that they're the wicked ones from back in the day. And it could be manifest who the true men of the Lord is. All right. By the doctrine and the prophecies backing up that doctrine. Go ahead, brother. I want to get to this lesson, though. What's that? What I'm looking at? You know what? I'm about to give him the finger. Go ahead, brother. Hey, no, you got. He said what? He said whoever Yahweh the asshole is. He said something about if fringes aren't important, why are we wearing them? Somebody got that? Rehearse it right to that. So let's keep going, y'all. Let's keep going.
Scriptures, hey, we rehearse the righteous acts. The scriptures also speak about being overly righteous. You know, you walk around with fringes out here in the world. All right, you put a big old target on your back. All right, you want to be sheep in the midst of wolves, man.
Right, you can wear them. You can wear them, but it's not about that, man. You know,
and the same ones for Salaki.
That's not going to lead you to salvation.
another one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, definitely.
And the same ones that wear fringes out in the open, having that target on their back. If me being a person of the world was to ask them a question, they won't be able to tell me because they're not edified or built up in the spirit of truth to give an answer. It's all topical with them. It's just aesthetically pleasing to their eyes. They want to look the part rather than be the part or play the part that it's actually supposed to play. And then saying, oh, where your fringes at and all that. That's just being a scapegoat of not having to answer the question that's presented to you. And that's grievousness.
God.
Judges. Yeah, you got our attention now. We're gonna check the page later.
Judges chapter 5 and 11. They that are delivered from the noise of the archers and the places of drawing water, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord, even the righteous acts towards the inhabitants of his village in Israel.
Right. This is a dumbasses like this, man. This dude Yarah, whatever his name is. The thing is this, man. We're not out here. The reason we're teaching is not against fringes. See how they try to play on the words? When we say, yo, y'all teaching that you can be saved by the law. What you trying to say? You can't keep the law? It's like, that's why I don't deal with IUIC. I don't talk to these damn demon-ass niggas, man. They demonic, man. I don't talk to them. I barely even do lessons on them. Because it's except for the edified people, you know, the ones that's listening. Because you got dumbasses out here like that that's going to say, well, why are you wearing them? Like, what does that have to do with anything we're teaching? We're teaching that you're not going to be saved by the fringes. We didn't say don't wear fringes when you're teaching. Dumbass, man.
And if you check his page, you see nothing but videos for football or soccer from 5 years ago.
Yeah,
on his ass. Have no work. On his ass. Quick.
Right. Let me see.
Go ahead.
Oh, that guy there. That's it. Where you work at? We talking about faith without works is dead, right, buddy? And then you just put that in the chat. Well, where your works? You just put it in the chat. Where your works at, buddy? Yeah, we ain't gotta know you to cut you. Come on. It's just like boxing, man. Just like martial arts. They say the first thing somebody give you, you attack that. So if you want to give that to us, we got you. Go ahead, brother.
This is Matthew chapter 6, verse 1. Take heed that ye do not your arms before men to be seen of them.
That's right. That's right, Yarah. Yarah. He said, what? Do not your arms before men to be seen of them, man. All right, that's really going into arms, though. That's going into something else. Yep.
Otherwise, ye have no reward of your Father which is in heaven.
Right. All right, look into this lesson now. Numbers 15 to 38.
The book of Numbers, chapter 15 and verse 38. Speak unto the children of Israel and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout all their generations.
Right, so this was in the law. This was part of the commandments, you know, that our people were to make fringes in the borders of their garment. They really had it on the edges right here. All right. The corners, they said the four corners. They had fringes on the four corners, you know, but also this could represent a border. You know what I mean? So just like the Native American wore fringes, it is what it is, however you wear them, you know, but this is supposed to represent the laws. All right, go ahead.
And that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
Right, so we put a ribbon of blue. Now, the word blue didn't exist until the Greek Empire. All right, so really blue is a derivative of black. That's how they used to look at it. They used to look at it as a lighter version of black. All right, so you had a scale of black, and it would lead to blue. So this blue right here, somebody get in lexicon, go ahead, make your point.
I don't think a black eye, but it's never really black. It's always
not really black, yeah.
It's like a navy from far, it looks black.
Right, so the Greeks started looking at the sky and calling it blue. But really, we know without the firmament being there, space is black. All right, we only see blue because of the scattering of light. All right. I forgot what it was.
Numbers 15 and
yeah, Numbers 15:38. And click on the word blue for me, lexicon. All right. So what it is, it would be red and blue. This term blue mixed together, and that's how your fringe is supposed to look. So it would be more like, we got the dark blue on there, but let me see your bottom of your fringe, Babakasha. Yeah, the bottom part. It would be more. You got different shades on it. So this would be more of a violet blue right here. All right. So it'd be a reddish and a blue mixed together. So it'd be like a bright tint to it. That's how they look. They were bright blue. All right. Yep. This is the term for the word blue, and it says takalath. All right. Okay. Yeah. If you need to switch anything, let me know. It says takalath, and that word blue, it says what? It says violet, violet stuff, violet thread, violet stuff or fabric. Blue covering spectrum from brilliant red through deep purple. See that? So that's you got to understand colors. So that's why people wear the border of blue. You can wear it, man. We ain't saying don't wear it, but we just saying stop being out here commanding people to wear it. Hey, you better wear your fringes out. No, you better know the name of the Lord. And you better keep the laws to the best of your ability. But the commandments, as far as the fringes or another command, we're supposed to go out and, how can I say it, man? No, sodomites. They're supposed to be put to death. So you can't do it. So every commandment, the Yahushua freed us from that. All right. So that's a high burden, man. In the kingdom, we're gonna have fringes every day. It's gonna be on everything. That's the covenant. Go ahead, brother. Who was reading?
I got Numbers.
Yeah, Numbers.
Fine. Back at Numbers 15 and 38.
Yep.
And that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue, and it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord.
There you go. So that's important. He said to look upon it, right? So what do we look upon today? Yahushua. All right, he's the sign. Go ahead.
And remember all the commandments of the Lord and do them.
Right. So through Yahushua, we remember, the command that Yahweh told Yahushua, not just what he told to Moses, but Yahweh had a message to give to Yahushua to give to us, those commandments. All right, go ahead.
And that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye used to go a-whoring.
Right. All right, go ahead.
That ye may remember and do all my commandments and be holy unto your God.
Right. So that was a way of separating us from these nations, You would look at it, you go off, you might slip up, and you'll look at the fringes like, yo, I'm tripping. But now, what did Paul use? Paul wasn't focused on fringes. Paul used the spirit that was within him, the spirit of Yahushua, the spirit of truth, to battle the flesh, to look upon, to remember, All right, go ahead.
Verse 41, I am the Lord your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am the Lord your God.
Right, Psalms 132 and 9. Let's get into the point.
Psalms 132 and 9. Let thy priests be clothed with righteousness.
Right, see, that's the point. Go ahead.
And let thy saints shout for joy.
Yeah, man. So it's all about the saints, man. The priests are going to be clothed in righteousness, man. You're talking about clothing, a covering, or these garments. These are just sackcloth, man. This ain't going to be saved with us. Right? Who cares about these fringes, man? Well, are you going to eat pork? No. Are you going to have sex with another man's wife? No. All these things. You want to try to keep the laws to the best of your ability. But what happens if you slip up? You look to the law, but you look to Yahushua that kept the law perfectly. You see that? Go ahead, brother.
This is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with the covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
Right, where was you at?
Isaiah 30 and 1.
Right, because they cover with a spirit, and that spirit is who? Jesus. That's what they cover with. And the Lord's name is Yahushua, not no Jesus. That's the devil's name. All right. All right, so that's right, man. These people are covered with death. Example. Look at the back of the shirt. Jesus cringed when I said the Lord's name is not Jesus, because that's not his name. People walking around here thinking the Lord's name is Jesus, when the Lord's true name is Yahushua. That's the name. And he said, those that call upon my name shall be saved of Israel. It's about the Israelites, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. They have to repent, turn back. Man, Yahushua is about to return and destroy America. Y'all seeing it happen. So who we gonna call on? All right, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You can bring it up. I'll just check it off. We'll bring it up.
It's Isaiah chapter 61 and 10. I will greatly rejoice in the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. My soul shall be joyful in my power.
Right, man. Yep. He just said that. Let the saints be joyful, man.
Huh.
All right, in the spirit, man. But
for he hath clothed me with the garments of salvation.
There you go. So you gotta be clothed with the garment of salvation. What's that? The righteous covering being Yahushua. And they don't have the name Yahushua, and they don't have the doctrine that Yahushua was teaching. They don't have the prophecies. So they're not covered at all, man. They still amongst the congregation of the dead. You know, it's getting clear as we bring it out. Go ahead, brother.
For he hath clothed me with the garments of salvation. He hath covered me with the robe of righteousness.
Right. He had covered me with the robe of righteousness, man. All right, as the Lord promised. I ain't got to break it down. Go ahead.
He had covered me with the robe of righteousness, as a bridegroom decked himself with ornaments, and as a bride adorned herself with her jewels.
Right, because you deck a general or a priest. They get decorated. All right, like a general is you say he got all these shields because he's a decorated soldier. You know, in the army. So we get decorated as priests. You know, but a woman, you adorn her just like you would you know, like you know how you would adorn something, cover something. All right, I'll say that you'll put things on it like jewels. You know, like these dumbasses do with these Christmas trees. That's called adorning something. All right, I'll put it on them. So that's how you adorn something. You drape, you put things on it. All right. Okay, so that's why the Lord had a difference in the dress between a man and a woman. You know, a man would wear what we wearing today, an ephod, and a head a mitre with the top uncovered. And he had on a tunic and underwear. All right. So when the men walk up the steps, nobody can see up under their robe. But the women, they would wear more fitted. They would have their hair completely covered. You know what I'm saying? So there's a difference. And a single woman, she would wear certain colors. A woman that was mourning, she would wear black. All right. Go ahead, brother. So it was a whole thing about our dress code back then. We don't have none of that here, man. The Lord said we're going to discontinue from our heritage. Somebody get Revelation 19:8. Babakasha.
Revelation chapter 19, verse 8. And it says, and to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen.
Right. You asked out. Yeah, no, I'm not. Go ahead.
It says, and to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white. For the fine linen is the righteousness of saints.
Yeah, that's what we want. You know, the Lord said he dressed Israel in linen. You know, and in ancient times, what was the linen? The clothing that we wear, the garments. But you ask IUIC what they wearing today, they got mixed fabrics. I'm sure. All right, I'm sure it's not linen. I bet you. I'm on the best of money that they're not linen. I'll lose the money. It's cool. But the thing is, I bet you it's not full linen. Why did he tell us to wear linen? Because linen is a plant. Linen comes from flaxseed. All right, and it's the main seed and clothing that absorbs heat. You know, it absorbs heat and pushes it away. You know, it filters it. So that's why the Lord told us to wear linen. It's important. You know, and so if you're gonna do that, at least say that. Hey, where your linen at? You know, shit. Help me be cool. Like for real. And the linen, you know, the linen. So that's the thing about the linen, man. So we basically like plants. You get what I'm saying? That's why he said we're like a field of grass, man. That's why you got to eat herbs. Everything is about the plants, man. Go ahead. So where would you at? Come on, man. Revelation 19:8, 9.
All right, this Revelation 19 and 9.
Yeah, go ahead.
And he said unto me, right, blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb.
That's right, man.
And
so, the ones that are called to it, man. So they're not being called. He said, many are called, but few are chosen. You see that? And IUIC, you ask them what that means, they're gonna say, yeah, you're gonna be clothed with the laws. Yeah, we're gonna be clothed in the kingdom with the laws, righteousness, man. Now here, we're gonna try our best to keep the laws, man. You know. Go ahead.
It says
that was it, only right?
How far you want to go?
That was it, over to 9. Unless you got another point.
No, I finished 9 up. It says, blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb. And he said unto me, these are the true sayings of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
All right, Psalm 51 and 17. Right, man, we're gonna let the scriptures speak, clarify. 51, 17.
This is Psalm, the book of Psalms, chapter 51 and verse 17. The sacrifices of Yahweh are a broken spirit and a broken and a contrite heart.
Right, so I asked IUIC, since you're doing everything perfectly, you say, hey, man, you're keeping the laws perfect, but what about sacrifice? You know, that's part of the laws. Why you not doing that? What's that sacrifice? They're gonna say, well, you're supposed to go out and teach. All right, well, that's spiritual. See that? So if you're gonna keep the law, you're supposed to keep the whole. If you're saying you're gonna be saved by the law, then you should be saying keep the whole law. But they're not saying that. All right. So what did the Lord say? Our sacrifice is what?
Said verse 17, the sacrifices of Yahweh are a broken spirit, a broken and a contrite heart.
Right,
Yahweh thou would not despise.
There you go, a humble spirit, man, a broken spirit, man. All right. So that's the sacrifice that they're looking for. And you won't find that amongst the IUIC. Okay? That was it. Go ahead.
All right, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 11. I'm going to start at verse 1. Wisdom lift up the head of him that is of low degree, and make of him to sit among great men. Command not a man for his beauty, neither abhor a man for his outward appearance.
Right, that's that gain is godliness. All right. So you don't abhor a man for their outward appearance, calling them bums because they're wearing sackcloth out there teaching, because you'll be a fool. You'll be you can be condemned for that. All right. You could be confounded. You know,
you would have said the same thing about Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Shai didn't have on no beautiful garment.
Right. What was his name? Saul. You know, Saul, man. They thought he was going to be a great leader because he looked the part. Yeah, he had the hair. He was tall. They're like, yeah, that got to be our leader. The Lord was like, nah, man. He found a man after his own heart, King David. That's what it's about. All right, go ahead.
And that's why, just to add on real quick, Babaka Shah, that's why the first verse said, you know what I'm saying, wisdom lift up the head of him of a low degree.
Yep.
Just like the precept that the brother, Barak just got, man. He of him of a low spirit and a contrite heart, just roughly paraphrasing, those are the ones that he near. The ones that's humble, man, that's meek, that's of a low degree.
Right, that's doing the work, Yara. Go ahead.
All right, verse 3. The bee is little among such as fly, but her fruit is the chief of sweet things.
What's that? Honey. So hey, man, the brothers in this truth are the least. He said he chose the small things of the earth to confound the wise. All right, but at the end of the day, what do we bring forth? That honey. And honey, he said, what is what did it say? Honey. It basically enlightens you. What happened when Saul's son ate that honey? When Saul's son ate the honey, he said his eyes were enlightened. You see that? And that's what he said. Basically, that's what honey represents. All right. Go ahead.
Boast not that.
Right. He said gonna be in the kingdom, milk and honey. Right. A land flowing with milk and honey. What does that represent? Healing and strength. Go ahead.
Boast not thy Shalaki. Boast not of thy clothing.
Right,
and
man.
remnant.
Go ahead.
And exalt not thyself in the day of honor.
Right, Nate. They boast themselves of their clothing, man. Sakari too. They had when they first started stepping into the merchandising game, they had their little shirt with the gold writing on it, the gold plated writing. And I got my gold. Got my gold shining, man.
He got us out here shining. That's what he said.
Yeah, ISUBK looking like the Rhinestone Cowboys. Like about to go to a Michael Jackson convention.
For the works of the Lord are wonderful, and his works among men are hidden.
Son, boy.
Many kings have sat down upon the ground, and one that was never thought of have worn the crown.
Yeah, right. All right. Any more precepts?
And that goes back to what the elder is saying. So the church taking the weak things of the world to confine the mighty.
Make it quiet.
Okay.
Yep. Precepts.
This is 1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 18. For as much as ye know that ye were not redeemed with corruptible things as silver and gold from your vain conversation received by tradition from your fathers, but with the precious blood of a Mashiach, as of a lamb without blemish and without spot, who verily was foreordained before the foundation of the world.
Right. So if you join these congregations because of money, you're going off.
Bottom line.
All right, straight like that. That's just period, man. Psalm 51:6.
This is Psalms chapter 51, verse 6. Behold, thou desire truth in the inward parts.
Right, that's what we're doing. We're desiring truth in the inward part. All right, not IUIC. They desiring all the damn fringes in America. Can't find no fringes. I was mad. I'm still hot about that. I had to go to 3 Walmarts. I had to go to 3 Walmarts, man, to get this cheap. Look, I can't even get the fringes. Look, you know what? Look at this shit. Look what they left me with. Look at that, man. It's like little toothbrush bristles. I got. Hey, look at this. Ain't no fringes. That's you. It's just their fault. Y'all right? Go ahead.
It says, Psalm 51:6. Behold, thou desirest truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden part thou shalt make me to know wisdom.
That's the point, man. We know this, man. The Lord is gonna make us to know wisdom in the inward parts. It's about the inner man. Go ahead.
It says, purge me with hyssop.
Yeah, hyssop is what they used to clean the houses with. It's a disinfectant. All right, and what can clean you? Yahweh Shai, not Nate, not marching up the street, not Jesus, huh? Yeah, not no Johanna, you know, not no fringes. Nothing can cleanse you except for Yahweh Shai. That's the cleansing.
I got a precept. This is John chapter 15, verse 1. I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman.
Mm-hmm.
Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away, and every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit. Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you.
There you go, man. He said, a fountain's gonna be left. Okay. Yeah, come, man. So Yahweh Shai is how we get clean, man. That's the only way we can get clean as a nation. Other than that, we're still dirty and perverse as a nation, man. And Yahweh Shai is going to destroy 2/3 of our people, just like he did during the times of Noah with the flood. All right, so this is a crying out to our people to turn back and call on the name of Yahweh, man, so they could be saved, them and their children. Go ahead, brother. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
This is Zechariah chapter 13, verse 1. In that day there shall be a fountain open to the house of David and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
We're not the house of Saul. Go ahead.
For sin and uncleanliness.
There you go, man. All right, and that fountain represents who? Yahweh Shai. All right, he's the fountain. What did John say? Water and baptized with water, fire. Yeah. How you know that? Yeah. Okay. All right, so yeah, he's the fountain, man. And what did Yahweh Shai say? He said, those that drink of this water, they should no thirst no more.
So you bring out the other precept.
What you talking about with the washing of the word?
Yeah.
Oh, the one where I did baptize you with water, but the one that cometh after me, whose shoes I cannot latch, shall baptize you with the Holy Ghost and with fire.
I got something right here real quick.
Yeah, go.
Right.
All right, this is the book of St. John, chapter 17, verse 17. Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is true.
There you go.
Fine, and that's what Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai have done to his hopeful elect, man. He sanctified him through his words, man. It's true, which is his truth, which is the truth.
Go ahead.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 119 and 9. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereunto according to thy word.
Right.
And just bringing it out to back up the elder and the brothers, man. You know, because Yahweh Shai is how we get cleansed. So if you hearken unto his word, hey, there you go.
Right, bro, that was clean. I mean, literally.
All
right, somebody get my. No, go ahead. You found it?
Yeah.
Matthew 1?
Yeah.
All right.
This is Matthew 3 and 10.
All right, can somebody get Mark 1 and 8 to back them up?
And now also the axe is laid unto the root of the trees, Therefore, every tree which bringeth forth not fruit, bringeth forth good, not forth good fruit, is hewn down and cast into the fire.
Yeah, right, man. So that ultimately, that tree that's not bringing forth good fruit, is a judgment for that. See that? And at the end of the day, that tree is going to burn down. They're going to be burned up with the rest of these devils.
Verse 11. I indeed baptize you with water unto repentance.
They catch everything too, you know.
But he that cometh after me is mightier than I, whose shoes I am not worthy to bear. He shall baptize you with the Holy Ghost and with fire.
Right, so that fire, right? So that's the baptism, to be fully submerged in the spirit of the Lord. And they're not submerged at all. This Camp IUIC. Let's get that. Mark 1 and 8.
Mark. This is Mark chapter 1, verse 8. I have indeed baptized you with water, but he shall baptize you with the Holy Ghost.
There you go, man. All right, so that's the spirit. The spirit is like unto fire. And that's the best cleansing agent. And it's compared to water and fire, man. All right. So he's definitely talking about when he's talking about that fire. Okay, he's talking about the spirit of truth. Precept? Okay.
All right, this is Psalm chapter 51, verse 8. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice. Okay. Hide thy face from my sins and blot out mine iniquities. Create in me a clean heart, O Yahweh, and renew a right spirit within me.
Right, and part of that clean heart is going to be you keeping the laws to the best of your ability. What's that? Somebody got that? Ezra? Oh, that Sirach, where it said wisdom show crooked ways and all that.
Yeah.
We ain't never can bring it up.
We ain't never bring it up. That's Sirach 4 and 17.
This is Sirach chapter 4, verse 17. Yeah. For at the first she will walk with him by crooked ways.
Right, talking about wisdom. All right. Once you get this wisdom and this truth, you're still gonna be slipping, man. When you come into this truth, like a new brother coming into this truth, you're gonna run back to the body and run back to the camp and say, "Yo, am I going off with this? Am I going off right? Like, you know, right? You brought me something earlier and was like, "Yo, check this out." You know. So that's what this is talking about. That's right, brother. Go ahead.
God.
They're gonna have questions. Yeah, they're gonna have questions.
And it says, and will bring fear and dread upon him and torment him with her discipline.
Right. It's gonna bring fear and dread upon you. It's gonna torment you, man, and make you disciplined in the truth. What ultimately creating you into a disciple. And the best things are what? Found hidden, like Muhammad Ali said. All right. He said the choice things on this earth are usually hidden, just like diamonds, you know. And a diamond is you gotta break a diamond up. You gotta break up the coal to get to the diamond. Like DMX said, he said, "I've seen coal turn to diamonds." You know, that's on fire too.
And it says, until she may trust his soul and try him by her law.
Trust me. So until we're gonna go back to it. Until the spirit can trust you, man. Who's the spirit? Yahweh Shai. Not just one. But that spirit that's flowing through Yahweh Bashim Yahushua got to be able to trust you, meaning making you a trustee, all right, with his talent that he's giving you, okay? So and filling up your cup with the word till the cup floweth over. That's the point. All right, can you go back to that, the last part?
God. It says, and torment him with her discipline until she may trust his soul and try him by her law.
That's just like when the angel wrestled against Jacob. You know, they ultimately changed the name to Israel. Now you are a prince with power. You know, so once you come into this truth, you become a what do you say? Yeah. He said, now are we the sons of the Lord, man. You know, but right now we don't know what we're gonna become, man. You know, once you come into this truth, you become a prince again, man. You know, you're fighting to be a son of the Lord. The sons of God. All right.
I got you.
Yep. So wisdom maketh men friends of the Lord. Go ahead.
This is 1 John chapter 3, verse 2. Beloved, now are we the sons of Yahweh, and it doeth not yet appear what we shall be. But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is.
Right, because even though we're in this truth, he said, know in part and we prophesy in part. You know, and we have an unction and we know all things, but we don't know everything. You ask me some math question, I can't answer it. So we have an unction, the unction from the Lord. What's that? We know all things pertaining to our salvation. All right, pertaining to the Lord's will for us. He let us know it through Yahushua, okay, and through that wisdom. And wisdom, scriptures say, wisdom will flee deceit. All right, that's why he say wisdom will learn to trust you. Because if not, it'll flee away from you. That's why when brothers first come into this truth, come brothers, and we don't just put them straight into the camp. We have them stick around and take notes, so we can see if the Lord is dealing with them. Not us trust. Yeah, we gotta trust them too, because you gotta see who around you. But we gotta see if the Lord really dealing with brothers, you know, before you let anybody into your household. This is a household, spiritually. All right, go ahead.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 10.
Right.
It says, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge, after the image of him that created him.
Right, so you gotta be renewed. Yep, you gotta be refreshed in the knowledge, man. The knowledge of the Lord, the fear of the Lord, which IUIC does not have. I don't believe so. Me personally, they might be sincere, but you can, like Apostle Gabar always says, our elder apostle, he always says, you can be sincerely wrong.
Yeah. Sincerely wicked.
That's right. You can be sincerely wicked. Yeah. Yeah, brother.
I'm gonna skip down to verse 12. It says, put on therefore as the elect of Yahweh.
Right. So put on as the elect, man. Don't just, I hope I make. Yeah, you better believe you're gonna make it. You gotta have some type of belief, and don't let nobody take your crown. Don't let anybody tell you different. Say, yeah, I'm gonna be on that chariot, and let the Lord show you otherwise. You know, when we're on that chariot, I pray we're on there. So put on as the elect. That means faith and belief. Go ahead.
It says, holy and beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering.
Right, meekness and long suffering, man. You know, you got to have all these qualities, like the brother on the car was just saying, man. You know, once you come into this truth, there's a step down you got to take in life to be able to be lifted up. You know, when you're born into this truth, you born with in America. America gives you what? Through the entertainment and through your family, an ego. And when you come into this truth, you got to destroy that ego. You know, and you become a whole different creature. And you put on as the elect, not on as an American. You got to know that you're an Israelite. Go ahead, brother.
And this is Luke chapter 9 and verse 23. And he said to them all, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me.
There you go. That's right, man. You got a point on it?
Hey, just denying yourself. Yeah. You know, it ain't like the elder is saying, when you come into this truth, it's ultimately about revamping yourself through the spirit, all right? Creating that new man, building upon that new man spiritually. Right. It's not about joining the camp and looking up to par. Yeah. It's about being up to par, you know?
Yep, just joining the Shiites.
That's why Paul said, when I was a child, I did childish things, but when I became a man, I put away those childish things. Yeah. Meaning becoming a new man, like no longer letting the flesh control your actions. Now you're moving according to the spirit, but what spirit though? That's what you got to understand. That's where the doctrine comes in.
These damn fashion savvy Israelites.
The Lord said sackcloth.
Sackcloth, man. Simple and plain, man. You know what? My bad. Brandon T. Jackson. He got a sneaker called Kingdom Airs. Yeah, he got a sneaker called Kingdom Airs. Right? He said that's how we're gonna bring the kingdom together. Like I said, fashion savvy, man. They on that, you know. Go ahead.
Like I was gonna say, just to back up what the brother Yala was saying, and the elder was saying, like, you know, this ain't this. Like you say, sackcloth. We're not supposed to be out here shining. We're supposed to be out here being beacons of carnality. We're supposed to be beacons of righteousness. We ain't supposed to have shiny designs and stuff on our shirts. Now, it's one thing if you wear that outside of teaching, no problem. But when you come out here do the work of Yahweh Bashim outside, you ain't supposed to be out here looking like you jumped straight out of Mortal Kombat or the Bible somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You supposed, you're trying to entice the people. Instead of trying to entice the people to come in and listen, you trying to entice the people by their eyes. And a lot of people are led away by what they see. And they see fake righteousness, so they're gonna go to it. And then when they find out that the ones that are out here shining and looking good
and looking all together with Jordans and Balenciagas and stuff like that. You know, then,
that was Yaradan. Go ahead.
I wear
God.
Jordan every day. Ain't that right, Austin?
you know what I'm saying? So you ain't supposed to be out here looking all good. I mean, it's like I say, it's no problem if outside of this, a brother want to keep himself up, no problem. But when you doing the work of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, you supposed to be dressed in sackcloth. You ain't supposed to be all out here all having extravagant looking garments, because that's how people that are in the know, the ones who have the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, gonna be able to see, okay, yeah, you just in it for the fame. You ain't in it for the long haul.
Boom. And that's why the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushua said, judge not a man according to the outward appearance, because that's the only thing they have is the fancy garments to beautify themselves. The ones that are dressed in sackcloth that are of the elect have the wisdom to beautify them. They have the spirit of the Lord to beautify them.
John.
Right.
John came in, John was wearing camel's hair.
Huh.
He ain't had no fringes on it, most likely.
Who
knows? They ain't never say nothing about fringes, but who knows?
What did Yahweh say when he was referring? What went you out there to see? A man in soft raiment?
Soft raiment.
Nah. What you went out there to see? A prophet? I tell you, he's more than a prophet. That's what Yahweh was saying.
Yeah, he's of the elect.
So now he's beautified. You go to Ezekiel chapter 16. He talks about how he decked the children of Israel with precious gold and jewelry by beautifying us with the laws. But that was separating us from the nations. But even it was from a carnal perspective. And we took that outward beauty, right, and thought we are beautified ourselves. But now what is he doing right now? He's beautifying us within, man. And those are the ones that are beautified within are the ones that are going to be of the elect.
That's right, Yara. And he said what? He said, put on as the elect.
Hold on.
And who was the elect? Paul and John, all these prophets, man. And they were humble. They probably, I believe they had fringes. Who knows, man? But they was in the Roman Empire. Just don't know. But it ain't about that, man. Like, go ahead, brother. Oh, you got something?
Yeah, I got a precept.
Yeah,
Just look, scripture down. This is Colossians 3:14. It says, and above all these things, put on charity.
Right, charity is teaching this truth. Okay, doing the work. All right, go ahead.
It says, which is the bond of perfectness. And I was just bringing I was bringing it out because the point that IUIC, they say low, but they're not edifying our people. You know what I'm saying? It says charity covers the multitude of sins.
That's right. That's right. So they're not covered.
They're not covered.
You got to come out of that congregation, man. Go ahead, bro.
I wasn't trying to. No, I got a precept, but I.
Go ahead.
All right, this is Isaiah chapter 52, verse 1. Awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion, put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem, the holy city, for henceforth there shall no more come unto thee the uncircumcised and the unclean.
Hey, if I ever talk to IUIC, that's the first scripture I'm bringing up. I'm gonna say, break this one down for me. I don't understand it.
See what I got on?
This is beautiful, isn't it?
See how the eclecticness of the purple is?
Yeah, it's supposed to be beautiful, spotless. The beautiful garments is what? Yahushua, putting on the truth. Okay, put on that beauty. That's the truth. Don't judge a person because of their outward appearance. That is beauty. That's just in the eye. They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So beauty spiritually is what? The inner man, Yahushua, okay? All right, so he said, put on that beautiful garments, man, so we can have some type of covering. All right, go ahead, brother.
This is Ecclesiastes.
These scriptures kind of speak for themselves, so I ain't doing no super breakdown on them.
These Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 1. And this is going off the point that the brother in the car made about shining. It says, who is as the wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed. So the only thing that you should want to shine to people is your spirit and the wisdom that comes from you, that comes from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's the only thing that we should be worrying about beautifying, which is our inner man.
Right, man. Definitely good.
It's Matthew chapter 5 and verse 5.
Yeah, the scriptures cut them, man. You ain't gotta really break them down. It's like real simple and plain. Ain't no deep metaphors and nothing like that. No parables. It's just saying, hey, you're gonna be saved by the Spirit, not by what you wear. Very simple. Go ahead, brother.
This is Matthew chapter 5 verse 5. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled.
IUIC don't hunger nor thirst. Hey, they put up their Passover videos. They over here eating good. They eat good.
Living lavish.
They living lavish. Nothing meek about them, right?
Like, if you come at somebody about what they got on off rip, that's pride.
That's pride, man.
That's carnal. Hey, bro, where your Jordans at, bro? You coming to school, you ain't got no job, bro.
Same
thing.
Yeah,
Same one. But they just in the
They just got older, found the truth.
Right, man, because the scripture spoke about that in Ezekiel, man. The dry bones. You know, they're gonna stand upon their seat, a great exceeding army, but they're gonna have no breath in them. Some are gonna have the breath, some wasn't. Right, brother?
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2 and verse 13. For my people have committed 2 evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters.
Whoa, there go the fountain again.
And hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water.
Wow, man. So they've hewn them out, broken cisterns like Nate, that can hold no truth in it. All right. And another one is all those false prophets on there. He's in the number with them. Thank you, brother. Now you can, it's all good. So look at him right there.
Look at that proud look.
Man, look at that stoutness about the brother.
The picture says, "Oh yes."
Yeah, but look at GOCC. That's my favorite one right there, man. See him sitting like this?
That's another proud look.
That's another proud look.
That's a pride look.
That's the Alistair Crowley. Yeah.
Whoa,
It is.
Bro. That's a lesson. We got to do that. That's a who? That's how the same pose. My bad. What we're talking about is this right here. This guy here, man, GOCC leader. The way he's, the stance that he got, that's Alistair Crowley stance too. All right, where was it?
You had all the way to 17 on Psalm 51, but we read it.
What was it, 17?
Well, no, in parts.
Oh.
Somebody brought it out, and then I went back up and went through.
Yeah, we already brought 17. Yeah. Now let's get Isaiah 31. We already did that too. 31. Sorry,
This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 6 and verse 17. Charge them that are rich in this world, that they be not high-minded, nor trust in uncertain riches, but in the living power. Who giveth us richly all things to enjoy, that they do good, that they be rich in good works, ready to distribute, willing to communicate.
Right. That's right. They're not, and it's about the works. Yara. Not the laws. The laws is not the works. Okay, doing this work is teaching. Okay, that's the work, and it got to be good work. You know, again, like Apostle Gabar always says, they can be sincerely wicked, man. And so all their works is basically going against the Lord, man.
If you're blessed enough to find the Lord, all right, and you say you love Him, to show your love, to show your faith in Him, you're gonna do the laws. It just goes hand in hand. They go hand in hand.
That's right.
All right, because naturally, you believing in Yahweh Shem Yahushua is gonna separate you. How you gonna be separated? By following the law. That's just gonna it's just gonna cause that separation.
And if you use that as your focus, then you still have no hope. Yahushua came down here and gave us hope. Going back to Ecclesiastes 7:20 again, there's no just man upon earth that doeth good and sin not. So now us focusing on the laws and realizing that we're breaking the laws, what we don't do, we ain't gonna have no hope. What we're gonna do? Start covering ourselves with leaves and figs and stuff, like going back into these nations, man. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we did in Genesis. You feel what I'm saying? So now, what we have now is hope. Okay, all right. I know I'm a sinner. Just like the publican and the scribe or whatever that went to pray. And one I was like, yo, I keep the laws. I do this. I do that. I'm glad I am not like this individual down here that got on these sackcloths. You know, roughly paraphrasing the scriptures, but the one that was a sinner said, "Hey, I am a sinner. You're my only hope. I pray that you
lifted up his head."
Right. He couldn't even lift up his head because why? But now we have hope in Yahweh Shai, man. He delivers us to Yahweh because the law is perfect. The law is perfect, but we're the ones that are wicked. You know, so you can't say nothing about keeping the law because our righteousness is as filthy rags. So what are you going to say then? You're cleansed through the word of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. And that's the only way. He said, I'm the only way. So if you don't even want to know his name, you ain't trying to get into the kingdom.
That's right, man.
Precept.
That's called not going up into the gap. That's sunny, man. Joke right now.
What you think the tree's going to block me?
Let's bring them all up, yeah. Good. Daniel?
It's Hebrews 7 and 19.
Like he's ripped out.
Hebrews 7 and 19.
Just the great, hey, just going into the law. All right, how just like the bishop was saying, man, the law made nothing perfect, but the greater hope did. And this is Hebrews 7 and 19. For the law made nothing perfect, but the bringing in of a better hope did, by the which we draw nigh unto Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. You know, so that's ultimately what draw you unto Yahweh Shai. All right, that mediator, man. That's gonna cleanse you of your sins. All right, that's gonna give you the exemption for your sins. All right, just believing in him.
All right, brother. Yep, bringing in of a better hope than the laws, man. That was our hope, the laws, but we hoped and we failed. You know, yeah, I'm gonna keep these laws. Yeah, we're gonna do it great. And Paul said that. You know, Paul said I was alive until the law came. You know, so he was alive, meaning he was calling himself keeping the laws perfectly and in the spirit. You know, because that's what we thought was in the truth at the time, the laws. But no, being in the truth is knowing what pleases the Father ultimately. You know, knowing about the Son, knowing about Yahweh Shai, knowing about the prophecy. That's the truth. All right.
Because Paul was a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
All right, because he was persecuting the Israelites.
That's
but
right.
when he got woken up to the truth, the real law. All right, there came the balance.
He
man.
realized it. Yep. Yep. So that's when he said he died.
And
he died spiritually, man, to the world, you know.
And if you're trying to walk according to the law, that's actually kind of walking after the flesh, because the law was put there to govern the flesh. So if you're walking according to the flesh, that's enmity to the Most High, because guess what? He put the laws in place, knowing that our fleshly bodies could not go to the laws 100%. So within that, all before we were even created, he already had the mediator set. Everything was already set in stone before we even existed. So for you to try to change our existence, we don't exist according to the law, because what is the wages of breaking the laws? Death. So we're all punishable to death. So wouldn't be no humanity on earth if it was according to the law. So you're going against the Most High setup, man.
Right, and that's what Yahweh Shai said, man. It's not what goes into man, but what comes out of him that defiles him. So what they're teaching is defiled, man. All right, they're teaching false doctrine. See, we're not telling people to not keep to not keep the laws. We got to be clear on that. But we're telling people that you're not going to be saved by the law, and you got to teach it that way. That's what Yahweh Shai came to do. Say, yo, I'm about to go up here on this cross for you. So don't be, when I leave, don't be walking around here saying you're going to make it to the kingdom off your behalf. No, you're going to make it to the kingdom off of him.
You slap like Chris Rock.
Right, we got to do that. We got to teach it that way, man. Right? Go ahead, brother. We're running down here.
All right. This is Romans chapter 8, verse 1. Therefore now, there is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. For the law of the spirit of life in Yahweh Shai HaMashiach hath made me free from the law of sin and death.
There you go, man. Made you free from it. All right. So one, it should make you not want to break the laws. All right. And ultimately, you're free from it, meaning the pathway to the kingdom is wide open. You know, we're free from what? What is it called? The curse of the law. Thank you. We're free from the curse of the law. What's the curse of the law? Death. All right. Go ahead.
Verse 3. For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, Yahweh sending his own son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin condemned sin in the flesh, for that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. And that's it, bottom line.
Yeah, that's us. We walk by the spirit. Go ahead, brother.
So the laws, all right, so when you walk in the house, your house, you're supposed to have the 10 commandments on your doorpost, so when somebody's walking in, they see that, right? That's kind of like our focal point at one point in time, when we focus on the laws. All right, now, that was only going to get us so far. right? Just like how Moses was only going to get us so far, who brought us into the promised land? Joshua, which means he delivered, which means deliver, right? So now, what is our focal point now? That's what Paul was saying right there. For what all the law could not do, yes, we're trying to go according to the law. We want to do the law 100%, but we understand that it's not possible in this sinful flesh. So now what is our focus point? Our focal point becomes Yahushua, and having our focus upon him. We have our focus upon Yahushua, then we don't lose. So
Yahushua is not the minister of sin.
Con.
So so if you're in the spirit of Yahushua, you're not going to be operating under that breaking of the law mindset. You know?
Con.
Sorry, bro. Oh, my bad. That was a good bar. Yeah.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 3 and verse 31. Do we then make void the law through faith? Yahweh forbid. Yeah, we establish the law.
That's establishing the law through faith. Because what did Yahushua do? He fulfilled. So now we have for faith that he fulfilled everything, and that those that believe on his holy name, Yahushua, you got to know that, right? Will be saved, man. So that's the fulfillment of the law within us, having faith in Yahushua.
You finished?
Yeah.
It's Galatians 5 and 17. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if ye be led of the spirit, ye are not under the law.
You're led by, you're not under the law, meaning you're not under the curses of the law, man.
That's it.
That's just it. So once that curse is taken off from you, guess what? Guess what the judgment for that curse is? Death. That's how you have everlasting life with Yahushua, man.
Yep.
So like
no, you good. That's it's just sin, man. You know, one sin is not greater than the other. It's all sin. You have some sin unto death, and you have some sin unto just certain punishments. You know. So are we saying Paul was wicked? Because what did Paul say? He said, the things that I ought to do, I find that I do not. The things that I find that I ought not to do, I find that I'm doing. So therefore, it's not that me that's doing it. It's the sin that worketh within my members. That's what Paul was saying. So now having a Redeemer, Yahushua, we're not subject unto death because of that, but having faith on him, man. There ain't no way we was gonna make it according to the law. Ain't no way. We weren't built for that. But so you mean to tell me, IUIC, y'all got the new covenant already?
Right. Damn, that's what I was
Damn. Y'all got the new covenant already. Y'all the first fruits. It was Yahushua, then y'all, right? That don't make no sense.
Right.
Because the hopefully elect, that's ultimately what we hoping for, a new heaven and a new earth, man.
We're indwelling righteousness.
Yeah. And we want to dwell there.
Right.
Where we can be righteous.
Perfect.
Bottom line, where we can be, we want to be righteous too. We know, man, come on, man. And our righteousness now is as filthy rags. Right. So, man, listen, man. Straight up with you.
Revelations 11 and 13. Go ahead.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 7. For we walk by faith, not by sight.
Right. We walk by faith, not by sight, IUIC. So when somebody walk up, first thing you saying, where your fringes? We don't care about how it looks, man. We worry about the spirit behind it. Okay, go ahead.
We are confident, I say, and willing rather to be absent from the body and be present with Yahweh.
Right. That's kind of going into something else, dealing with spiritual realm. That's right. So go ahead. That's what we present our body as a living sacrifice, man.
Revelation.
Yeah, thank you.
Revelation chapter 11, verse 13. And the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. And the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the God of heaven.
Right, it might have been 11 and 3.
11 and 3. Now we'll give power unto my two witnesses.
Yeah. Yeah, I wrote 13 down. My bad. Go ahead.
Say again?
3.
Okay.
11 and 3.
Revelation chapter 11, verse 3. And I will give power unto my two witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days,
right,
clothed in sackcloth.
Right, that'd be like 350 years. You know, that represents us being in bondage 350 years here in America. Okay, so right here, those two witnesses in Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom. All right, and we're gonna be prophesying right here in America in sackcloth. Period. Somebody please look at the definition of sackcloth. Let's see that. How about that? Basic potato sacks, man. The stuff that make you look like a bum. You know, we got
snake skin.
Yeah, we got nice garments, but we put these together ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just, yeah, it just so happened.
Hey, you know, hey, take the salt on earth. Anything we do it well.
Yeah, cause we got Yep, come on, man. This is it says sackcloth, all right, sackos, and it means a mohair, the material or garments made of it, worn as a sign of grief.
They spend their time trying to look beautiful when they supposed to be looking. What did it say? It's better to be in the house of mourning than to be in the house of feasting, man.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, IUIC Passover. It says, you gonna think? Remember?
No, I'll remember it later.
A sack, a receptacle for holding or carrying various things as money. You know, shoot, I had a garment out here one time. Remember the dude like, yo, I got the same rug. Oh, damn it.
Hey, why would
you got some jabs, huh?
That was a straight jab, because he ain't had to word it like that.
Yeah, man.
He could have said, oh, I got something made out of that material too.
Yeah.
Or that pattern.
But it was the truth, because I saw the same rug. So we wearing sackcloth, man. You know?
Oh,
Hey, Con.
check this out. Oh, Slocky, go ahead. Oh, no, you go ahead, bro.
Hey, Con, because too, hey, by that wearing that the sackcloth, it matches our inward appearance too as well, man. Why? Because the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh say he near to those of a broken spirit and a contrite heart, man. So therefore, how we feeling on the outside appearance is going to match too as well.
And saying, and for that morning, it says, God dang, it's like
So, but check this out. But think about it, right? So us putting on sackcloth, right? I wonder what material that sackcloth is going to be. So right now, our outward appearance don't even matter, man.
Right. It says it was worn by the men of the Lord that led an austere life. Strict life, man. That's right, man. You know, but just like how they were ruling in authority. So they had to be what? In a lowly manner. When you come into this truth and you start teaching, you kind of in the place of a prophet, a priest. You know, the priests were what was the word back then, man? They were respected. You know, they were hated at the same time, man, but they would fear when a prophet would show up. You know what I mean? So once you come into this truth, you become a ruler in the sense of being in the truth, all right? Teaching our people, you got to humble yourself, all right? So we got to do what the Lord said, though. He said you're going to be prophesying in sackcloth, not going out and everybody 501c3 charter. Hey, bro, you just joined the camp. You got a new shirt you just made? All right, cool. I'm gonna let you sell it to the camp, but you gotta give me a percentage. Right? Deuteronomy 22:5. That's Bishop Kanai, y'all.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22 and verse 5.
I hate talking about IUIC. I just want to say that one time. Go ahead, brother.
Gone.
It's like one of the worst topics for me.
Deuteronomy 22 and verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
There you go. So that's that's important. So we're going into the garments now. We're getting back to the garment. So we read the part about the fringes, and now he's saying, yo, the women they supposed to wear what? Oh, I heard about that. IUIC talking some, yeah, you women ain't supposed to be wearing pants. You know, telling women, it's a woman that keep coming up to me. She said, I'm with an IUIC member. And he said he couldn't be with me because I couldn't wear pants. That's right. That's right. I'm in the kings, man. We kings. We have whatever we want. Whatever we like. Right, man. Who's reading? Right. So she was telling me like, yo, they were telling me he couldn't wear pants. Now they just misunderstand that scripture, you know, because in these times, you know, we would have it would be like a tunic, you know what I'm saying? And I would rather my woman wear pants, you know, something to cover it, not a skirt out here.
Hell no.
Not in this queen.
Yeah, they got the fans, everything. They shit to look up under. Yeah. You have your daughter out there wearing that, and she run. They look at that differently here. So whatever. What that's saying is that scripture there is not talking about pants, man. All right. What that's talking about is the priesthood. All right, the priest, Aaron was dressed a certain way. You know, he had to have an ephod, you know, the stones on the mantle. He had a mitre on. He was dressing a priest. So a woman wasn't supposed to wear that, you know, and men's garment like we wear. You know what I mean? And because you would say that's a priest. Or she wasn't supposed to shave her head bald or walk around uncovered. That's why Paul said that if you're gonna walk around with your head uncovered, you might as well shave your head bald and be a man all the way. You know, you don't even have to say that to these women because they already got the head bald. But with the woman will wear a dress. It's different, you know. Well, the word dress goes back to dressing something. So that's not it. You know what I mean? So we wore robes, and women wore, I forgot what it's like, a blouse. You know what I'm saying? And they were adorned for beauty.
Is that where that term comes from? Oh, you don't wear the pants, I do? Because the pants is not literally pants,
that come from Esau. I wear the pants in this house. That started here, man. Yeah, man. You know, so it ain't about the pants, man. You know, you wear that. I do ask this question, like, damn, why a woman got on the zipper? You know, so I get that part. But in this society, it's better to, you know, wear pants. It is what it is. All right. So it's not about that. It's about the priesthood, how it was set up. The Lord was saying the woman not supposed to be walking around dressed like a priest. All right, go ahead, brother. Keep on. Oh, I think you read it already, right? No, that'd be Deuteronomy 22 and 11. Let's get to 11 all the way to 12.
Book of Deuteronomy 22 and verse 11. Thou shalt not wear a garment of diverse sorts, or of woolen and linen together. Thou shalt make thee fringes upon the four quarters of thy vesture.
Right. So IUIC, I want to ask them this question, man. What is that fabric made of? Because the scriptures told us we're supposed to make it of linen, pure linen. You know, flaxseed. You know, it's just like what do you say? Don't mix plants together. You know what I mean? In the soil. So you're not supposed to mix garments together. And we got all kind of stuff right now.
We don't know.
We walk up to IUIC, they got on this. If I talk to him, he say that damn garment. He said the garment is linen. I'm gonna say, what's the t-shirt?
I said that. I said,
the jeans?
Listen, I asked them that. I said, okay, y'all getting on me about fringes, but I said, what about mixed fabric?
Right.
And they were like, and what about it? I said, so you mean to tell me all y'all up there shirts is 100% linen? I said, because I bet I can guarantee that your shirts that you get printed from the printing press are polyester. I guarantee that all your shirts that you get printed from the printing press, because ain't nobody, you not going to these print places and tell them I want straight linen shirts. That's it. No, you're buying these masks that the same t-shirts that you're selling to your congregation.
Yep, wearing Nikes.
Huh.
I don't think I got a Nike, but ain't nothing wrong with wearing Nikes.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, but I'm not gonna base my salvation on what I got on.
Right, man. That's right. You walking around talking like that, you shouldn't be wearing none of that stuff.
Right.
You know, but hey, man, we wearing Nikes, all kind of stuff, man. We should be Adidas. That's go back to Egypt. Got a pyramid on there.
Nike too. It's Greek.
It's Greek.
Glory or something like that.
It was an idol named Nike.
Goddess
of victory.
And not only that, if you rocking around here talking about where your fringes at, your whole attire need to be what we was wearing back in those days.
Like Nakar said, you look like you jumped straight out the Bible.
Right. That's what you need to look like. You jump straight out the Bible. Like you need to have everything. The way we used to dress back then. If you worried about fringes, the way we used to dress back then, that's how you should be dressing now.
And phylacteries. You're supposed to have phylacteries and everything.
You're putting fringes on European attire. Sorry. Come on, that don't make no sense. You're putting fringes on a European attire and forcing people to do that.
Yep, that's it, man. I'll be damned. Don't take your head off. I ain't like doing that.
There's used to be something like, oh yeah, they'll be like, oh, we in modern times, so we have to do with according to what the clothing we have today. That's the same BS they try to put with the name of the Lord, man. Oh, everybody know about it. No, look at the generations of old, man.
And Babakal Shah. I was saying Babakal Shah, IUIC always talking about where your fringes at. Do these idiots know that the fringes just represent the laws? They just represent the laws to remind you to keep going according to Yahweh Shah.
Right, but what's going to remind us today? Yahushua.
God, Yahushua.
He's the cursed thing. He became that cursed thing for us, man. Just like Moses held up the serpent.
Yep.
You know, and he said, "Yo, look at you're gonna have to look at this." And our people were like, "Yo, it's a serpent." He's like, "You're gonna have to look at it, and you'll be healed." It was a forerunner, a precursor to what Yahushua was going to represent, becoming a curse for us. And that snake, that serpent that Moses held up, it later on was called Nehushtan by Hezekiah. Nehushtan just means an iron or brass object, you know. But before that, since Moses held it up, there was a shift that happened. Some people started worshiping that snake, Nehushtan, and then when Hezekiah showed up, he said, "No, it's just a brass object, man." He destroyed it. All right. But the ones that were righteous, they looked at it and got the point, meaning follow what the Lord said. He tell you to do it, you got to do it. That's just it. If you don't do it, you're going to perish. Now, today, Yahushua became that curse upon the cross. He said, "Cursed is any man that hangeth on the cross." So he became that curse that we look upon today as a sign and as remembrance, all right? And he's in the heavens on the right hand of the Father eternally for us to look upon. All right, go ahead. You got a point? You had a point?
I had a point. Like basically they saying in the old times we had to look at the fringes to basically remember the law.
Yep.
And now the brothers that came in this thing, all we gotta do is look back and see what the Lord was doing to us when we was walking around like these Babylonians.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? When we were sinning, you know what I'm saying, going to and fro, running in lusciousness. 1 Peter chapter 4. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, look into the history. Yeah.
So,
Through Yahushua. Yeah, through the truth. Just look into the truth, man. Look into the history. That's right. All right. Jeremiah 31 and 31, all the way 33. Come on.
Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, after the rudiment of the world, and not after the Mashiach.
Yep. So they can spoil you through that, man. Through the rudiments of the world. The Lord said, what do you say? Friendship with the world is enmity with the Most High, man. And they got that 501c3 charter. So they friendships with the government. You know, they're friends with the government, man. They friends with Uncle Sam.
Oh, that's my dog Biden over there.
Yeah, that's my dog right there. Yep. 31, I think, yeah, 31 to 33.
It's Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 33.
No, 31 and 31 all the way to 33.
Okay. Verse 31, chapter 31, verse 31 of Jeremiah. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, with my covenant, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, saith the Lord. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord.
Right.
I will put my laws in their inward parts and write in their hearts, and will be their God, and they shall be my people.
There you go, man. That's right. So what? We're waiting for Yahushua to do that. Yahushua is gonna make us perfect, man. All right. So we don't walk around teaching, hey man, you gotta be perfect in the law. No, man, you gotta be perfect in faith. And that faith is gonna make you try your best in the law. You know what I mean? Like you might try to keep the Sabbath, but you might have the day wrong. Or we might say the Passover was on this day, but it could be next month. So we're not doing everything perfect. You know what I mean? You gotta admit that. And even if you ask some of them guys in the Iuic, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans are the Israelites of the Bible. We are here to get the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans to repent and turn back to Yahweh Bashim Shah. You ask IUIC members if they have the commandments on their front door. You know, the Lord said you're supposed to do that. There's a lot of things you're going on the list. You say, hey, you keeping it? Yeah, hey, how you get to the Lord? They're gonna say keep the laws perfectly. Okay, let's go through the laws. You know what I mean? And you're gonna find out that they're not keeping them. So that's why the Lord said, as they everything that they say, observe and do. But as they're doing, don't do that. You know, don't follow after their ways. All right. So all the way 33. You already ready?
Oh, come on.
All right. Deuteronomy 4 and 5, all the way to 6. I'm gonna run through these quick. Any precepts are cool too. I'm just, we just running through it.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me. that ye shall do so in the land whether you go to possess it.
That's right. Go ahead.
Keep
Yep. So this was Moses. Go ahead.
Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
Right. So that was our wisdom, in the old time. But now what's our wisdom? That's the point. All right. So in the old time, the laws were our wisdom. That's all we knew. But now, Yahushua and the truth and the laws, everything all together is part of that wisdom. Okay. So that was our wisdom in the sight of the nations. So now what's our wisdom in the sight of the nations? It's truth. And the Lord's going to put us back to that status of being perfect in the laws in the kingdom. All right, let's get Numbers 15 and Isaiah 11 and 10. Yep. Can we get Numbers 15:38 again? This is someone lose sight of the point. Yeah.
This is Numbers chapter 15, verse 38. It says, "Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make fringes in the borders of their garments."
There you go. And that word fringe just means tassels, in the borders or corners of their garment. But
throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
There you go. All right, throughout their generations, man. But the Lord said, what? We were going to discontinue from our heritage. All right. So now the Lord gave us a way to have some type of covering. All right. And that covering, again, as I keep saying, is Yahushua, the spirit of truth. All right. That's the spiritual fringe, contrite heart, and the garment is the spirit of righteousness, man. It's, teaching rightly and correctly in the spirit of truth. He said, what? Got the race lawfully. Yep. Let's get that. Unless you run lawfully. That's right, man. They think lawfully means keeping the laws only. Listen, again, we're not saying don't keep the laws, Damn, my phone here with me. You got it? Yeah. 2 Timothy 2 and 5.
2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 5. All right. It says, "And if a man also strive for masteries, yet is he not crowned, except he strive lawfully."
Right. There you go. So lawfully, of course, you're going to keep the laws to the best of your ability, but striving, meaning running a race. That means doing it the way that the Lord showed us how to do it. That's what he means by lawfully right there. All right. It means striving in this truth for perfection, striving in this truth correctly. All right. Not just keeping the laws, That's what he was saying right there. Okay. So look at this, man. Isaiah 11 and 10. And you keep going on that Numbers 38, 15:39.
This is Isaiah.
Real quick. Numbers 15:39. Yeah, come on, my bad.
All right, this is Numbers chapter 15, verse 39. It says, "And it shall be unto you for a fringe,
right,
that ye may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of the Lord."
Right. So you're gonna look upon this, and you're gonna remember all the commandments that the Lord gave you. That's why we weren't. But what do we look upon to remember? Yahushua said, "I'm gonna put you in remembrance of all things." We turn to Him now. Okay.
And do them.
And do them. That's right, man. Okay. So now we look to Yahushua. Go ahead.
This is Isaiah chapter 11, verse 10. "And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it the Gentiles seek."
Oh, to it shall the Gentiles seek.
Like
That's right.
To it shall the Gentiles seek.
Right. The Gentiles just meaning the foreigners, man. Israelite foreigners. That's what we all were. You see that? So what were we to look upon? The fringes? When we was all calling ourselves Americans and Baptists and before Abba Bibbins, what were we to look for? IUIC wasn't around with the fringes. So we had to look for the truth. That's what was given to Abba Bibbins. That's what raises us from the dead, not the fringes. That's just common sense, man. Spiritually common sense, And common sense isn't common anymore.
Yeah, because what it's saying now, 1 Corinthians chapter 2. The natural man cannot discern these things because they're spiritually discerned.
Right.
So they can't understand because they don't have spiritual discernment, man.
Thanks to Nate. That's right. Go ahead, brother.
It's the book of 2 Peter chapter 2.
Yeah, you getting this, Yara?
In verse 12, but these, as natural brute beasts, made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil of the things that they understand not, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption.
You heard that, Yara? Speak evil of the things that you understand not. You didn't jump your ass out there, don't even know what you're talking about.
Then it's gonna be a cut.
Because it's a way that may seem it right to a man, but that way is the end of death.
Right.
But right. Paraphrasing.
Right. And also understand this is what makes it even more scarier, right? So if you around here in a deceived state of mind, the scripture says the deceived and the deceiver are his. So the Lord causing you to be wicked like that. You feel what I'm saying? So if it's in your spirit to be that, you're not gonna be able to get it. You got some more on that?
Ain't nothing we can do.
Ain't nothing we can do.
Oh, he mad still? He said some shit? Wait, which one? The first one about most is dealing with GMS lions than always sincere edification. The water, brother. The water, man. Who's that? Humble Lion? That's right, man. Thank you, man. The Lord dealing with you too. I believe so. You know that. Humble Lion.
And this is back in 2 Peter 2 and 13.
Wait, no, go up 2 and 11.
2 and 11. Whereas angels, which are 6, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah.
Wait, where you at? Where you at?
2 Peter 2.
No, what you had brought out before?
12. These natural brute beasts made to be taken and destroyed, speaking evil of the things that they understand not, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption.
So now, touching on the point of the brute beast, I'm not trying to get on.
Well, verse 15. Which have forsaken the right way and are going astray, following the way of Balaam, the son of Bosar, who loved the wages of unrighteousness.
Money. That's all it's about. Money. That's all it's about. Their fringes, each fringes count for $1 for them.
Damn.
Because that's what they focus upon, that money.
Probably get a discount.
Is
that what it is? IUIC
matter of fact, I tell you what, get an IUIC shirt and
go up in there.
go up in there. Oh, we got him in the back for you.
Oh yeah, I knew it. I'm gonna give me an IUIC.
Special inventory for you.
So now, hey, Babak, you can get 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 6. So now, those brute beasts, right? They have erred from the way of the faith, from the way of righteousness, because they're going at it. They're going about it all the wrong way. Yep. But the Lord, Yahweh Shai, is putting perfection in His saints.
It is 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 6. Howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect, yet not the wisdom of this world, nor of the princes of this world that come to naught.
Now, if you ask them that, I guarantee it says, howbeit we speak wisdom to them that are perfect. I guarantee they're gonna say, according to the laws. But that's not what that's talking about. That are perfect in faith. And what is that faith gonna get you? The truth. All right, keep going.
Verse 7, but we speak the wisdom of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua in a mystery, even a hidden wisdom, which Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua ordained before the world, unto our glory.
All right, so now, even before Fringes was even on the earth, this was spoken of and written out. It's just being manifested in these times. All right, keep going.
Which none of the princes of this world knew, for had they knew it, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory.
So that's not just talking about Esau right there. They're talking about its wicked Pharisees and Sadducees also. That crucified the Lord of glory. And you're trying to crucify him of flesh. All right, crucifying him of flesh is getting our people to sin, right? And what is that one sin that they're causing our people to do? Not have faith in the Messiah. Not have faith in the Messiah and his sacrifice that he did when he came down here on this earth.
Right.
That's the wisdom that we're speaking to them that are perfect.
Pulling up the robe, pulling up the garment. As they walk by securely, you just see somebody in the truth that's doing it correctly, and they'll say, where your fringes?
Jump to the point.
Take that righteousness off.
Yeah, they try to snatch the righteousness away from you, man.
Jump to the point.
Go ahead, brother.
No, keep going.
And this verse 9, but as it is written, I have not seen nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua have prepared for them that love him.
They don't love Yahushua, they love Nate. So they're preparing the things for Nate. They're going off of whatever Nate says. Nate could be dead ass wrong, but they're not going to go against it. Keep going.
But Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua have revealed them unto us by his spirit. For the spirit searcheth all things, yeah, the deep things of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua.
So can you do that according to the law? No. Well, are we supposed to uphold the law to the best of our ability? Yes. But the wisdom is going to get you there. Keep going.
For what man knoweth the things of a man, save the spirit of man which is in him?
All right, so now they got the spirit of man within them. Somebody get Ecclesiastes 3:11.
Yeah, they got spirit of this world.
Come on, man. Man, I think it's Ecclesiastes 3:11. He put the world in he made everything beautiful in his time, put the world in their hearts.
Oh, can you go there?
Yeah.
I got some up there. Yep.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, and verse 11. He hath made everything beautiful in his times. Also, he hath set the world in their heart.
Why?
So that no man can find out the work that Yahweh maketh from the beginning to the end.
So that no man can find the works. Now, because he made everything beautiful in his time, the earth looks beautiful outside of Esau's rulership. All right, what does Isaiah 6:10 say? Make the hearts of these people fat and their ears dull of hearing, heavy and dull of hearing. So they won't be able to get the truth. Let me bring this up real quick, This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 1. Surely vain are all men by nature who are ignorant of Yahweh and could not out of the good things that are seen know him, that is, neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the work master. So they're so busy on the physicality of things, on the outward appearance, they're so filled with carnality, they can't understand the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua.
It's back in 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. For what man knoweth the things of a man, save the spirit of man which is in him?
So they can't get past the carnal realm. What did Yahweh what he say? If I told you earthly things and you couldn't understand it, how can you understand heavenly things? Isn't that what the angel told Ezra? All right, I think it was Ezra. I could be mistaken. All right, so now how are you going to be able to understand these things if you're not closing these eyes and going according to the spirit? You're not going to be able to you're not going to be able to grasp that concept of what Yahweh is speaking to her. You know?
Verse 12. Right. Now we have received not the spirit of the world.
We have not received the spirit of the world. All right, so the laws were governed we're here to govern the flesh. All right, the flesh is wicked above all things. All right. So now, with that being said, how am I going to get these people to me? All right, I'm gonna send my son down there. I'm gonna put my spirit on my son, and he's gonna pour his spirit out on my elect, and they're gonna gather unto me according to the spirit. That's what Yahweh is saying. That's Revelation 21. All right. Go ahead.
This is verse 12. Back in 1 Corinthians 2 and 12. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the spirit which is of Yahweh.
And now what did the brother just bring out before that? He had put the world in their hearts, but we have not received the spirit of this world. So now we understand that we don't have to wear fringes on every piece of clothing that we have. We understand that the law is not going to get us salvation, but we understand that the law still is a part of our lifestyle. But we still have hope in Yahweh Shai because we know we can't keep the law 100%.
Bottom line.
That's the understanding that we have, but some don't have that understanding because why? They have the eyes of the world set in their hearts.
And just to add on, just to have the little piece of that truth of knowing that you're Israel with still being a worldly mindset, a westernized mindset, it don't mix. And that's why you have the camps like Iuic and ISUPK that have the Israelite doctrine, but they just another Christian church.
And that became the thing that was meant to be their help became their hurt. So understanding what does the scripture say is better that they had not even known. So by them knowing and not getting it right, they're worse off than that they had not even known.
Okay, move quicker though.
Matter of fact, where's the scripture at?
Galatians.
One in Psalm that said the thing. Damn.
Somebody get the Galatians 4. Let me get Ezekiel 37. Go ahead.
This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 7, and verse 21. For God had given straight commandment to such as came, what they should do to live, even as they came, and what they should do to avoid punishment. Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, but spake against him and imagined vain things. and deceive themselves by their wicked deeds, and said the Most High that He is not and knew not His ways. They don't know the Most High. At the end of the day, they believe in Nate. They don't believe in nothing about it. Like if it come out Nate's mouth, they're gonna believe it came out the Bible. They're not gonna stay there and show themselves approved.
They're spiritually discerned.
Well, they're not. They're so what? They're
Spiritually discerned.
who's spiritually discerned?
Iuic.
No, they're not spiritually discerned. The things that are of the spirit, it takes spiritual discernment.
That's right.
That's what it's saying. It's saying they can't understand it because they're spiritually discerned. They have this discernment of the natural man. See, their thought process is all carnal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I get what you're saying. But really, they're spiritually retarded. That's what they are.
Yeah, the spirit. King James. I don't have the book with me, but I got his book that he wrote to his son, a letter to his son, and in that book he spoke of something called spiritual lepers.
Damn.
Yep. He was telling him. He told his son. He said, "Do not become a spiritual leper, man. Somebody that think they're right, but they inside they're completely diseased, man. They got a sickness, and yep, completely sick. They're spiritual lepers." Return to the vomit. I think it's like a few verses down.
Somebody get Psalm 69, and after this comes out, Psalm 69 and 22. All the way to 23.
Got it. Not the dog return to his vomit, but it should be down a little bit. Don't look for that.
I got 22. Galatians chapter 4. I'm gonna start at verse 8. It says, "Howbeit then, when ye knew not Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, ye did services unto them which by natures are no gods. But now, after that ye have known Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, or rather are known of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, how turn ye again to the weak and beggarly elements, whereunto ye desire again to be in bondage?"
Because their leader,
right,
hearken not the lies.
That goes back to the circumcision that Paul was talking about, right? What he said, all foolish Galatians, about going back into bondage under the curse of the law. So now the Yahushua lift the yoke up off the people, and they put it right back. No, put this yoke right back on you, and that's exactly what they're doing. So now, ultimately, bring that out, Babak Shaw.
Psalms chapter 69, verse 22. "Let their table become a snare before them, and that which they have been for their welfare, let it become a trap."
So what should have been for their welfare, which is these scriptures, their lack of understanding has become a trap and a snare unto them. And it's going to lead them all the way to the destruction, man. What, it bend their back down always?
Romans 11 and 7.
Right. So they're going to be in that same spirit all the way to the end. All right. Verse 23 too.
Verse 23. "Let their eyes be darkened that they see not, and make their loins continually to shake."
So they're gonna stay in that state all the way to the end, man. Because the Lord's gonna keep them in that state of derision, letting their eyes be darkened. They ain't talking about no physical eyes. That's talking about spiritually, man.
Ezekiel 37 and 7. "So I prophesied as I was commanded." That's a command. To prophesy. You gotta be able to tell the things that's going to happen before they happen. MOTB is one of them. IUIC.
The Spirit of the Lord is the Spirit of prophecy.
The Spirit of the Lord is the Spirit of prophecy. So I prophesied. That's a commandment. IUIC. "So I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone." That's what you see, Israelites. Yeah, one gonna cling to their like. You know, the brothers that's chasing sincerity in the spirit, they're gonna cling unto each other. And the ones that's chasing gain and godliness, thinking that gain is godliness, they're gonna cling unto the money. They're gonna cling unto the majority. Majority rules, just like a democracy. You know.
Right. Like a democracy, they're not voting. All right, so they're not putting in the office who's more righteous. They're putting in the office really the electoral college is putting people in the office, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's democracy, majority rule.
Right,
That's
right.
Mm-hmm.
So it don't matter how wicked they are. If the majority, if the majority picks them, that's what they're gonna put in the office.
Yep.
To be a puppet.
Yep. So if people see that big congregation and they're like, I want to be a part of that.
God.
Just like Cool J said on that movie. He said everybody want to be a part of something. Everybody want to be a part of something. You know, that always stuck with me, man. Don't be like that. You know, you see a group of people, don't try to, I gotta be a part of something. You know, they want to call themselves an Israelite. And that's when you get stuff like this. It says what? And I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them. All right, so the muscles and the flesh came upon them, right? Meaning they started calling themselves Israelites. You know, they started talking about ruling the earth and all of that, and keeping the laws. But he said what? And came up upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. See that? So they don't have no breath. You know? So I don't care if they call themselves Israelites. I don't care if they done taught all these years. They got a big congregation, all kind of churches and temples. We don't know what they got. You know? Synagogues and stuff.
Right. And check it out. What is this? Song of Solomon said, kiss me with the kiss of his lips. That word is like sweet ointment. Therefore, that roughly paraphrase, therefore the virgins love thee. So you got to have that breath.
Come on with it.
The kiss is sung lest he be angry. So that breath, that means worship Yahweh Shai. I give reverence unto him. But the kiss me with the kiss of thy lips, meaning give that breath unto him, man. That's what King David was talking about in Psalm 51. Take not thy Holy Spirit from me. Spirit, breath. Don't take the breath from me.
Yeah, man. If not, you be walking around still must you say a stillborn.
What happens when oxygen doesn't come to the brain? You become brain dead.
Yeah, born dead.
Born dead.
That's right. Hey, we might just slide over here, man. Get everybody else to heat. If it's too much, you know what I'm saying? I think we could bear it.
Oh.
Turn around, see smoke coming from me. So we don't need no more tan. Yeah, we start grabbing these signs. We kind of shift over here and finish these precepts out. It'd be a lot easier. All right, so any newer brothers start grabbing signs and stuff like that. And hey, bear with us. We can walk in, and you can kind of see the serene. You know, you can kind of show while we're walking.
The wicked statue right there. That's what Yahweh Shah is going to knock down. Okay.
Tomorrow morning. Say this. I think it is.
Yeah, I'm about to
I kind of feel
what's wrong, brother? Yeah, you do. Yeah, I used to hate that. I just need notes for hard work. I think that notes for hey man, I know, like, it feels better now, but it's better early. I stayed home. Oh yeah, right to notes for work. And they're gonna check you. They're gonna keep you there for like an hour.
Oh yeah.
All right, well that's fine.
I like they get paid by it. Yeah, it's kind of too late to use the priest mode because it's like you into the day. Oh, fuck. Yeah, you can say I'm a priest today, but they like, you ain't let it know ahead of time, did you? Kind of day?
Yeah, but not specific.
Not today, yeah. So maybe next week. Maybe let them know. Well, if you're going to do the hospital thing, if you are, maybe in a couple of days, let them know. This thing like, and you know, I'm a priest, man. I teach on Saturdays, but I had the hospital.
Yeah, I definitely thought it was about Saturday.
Yeah, man. So now bring it to them, like, yo. I was the manager, like, yo, remember I told you about the whole priest thing? It's cool. Yeah, they can learn from it. Remember the whole priest thing? Yeah, next, if we just talk and just take it off of it next time.
What's up? Should be about I said good. Cool. You like it?
Hey, look at it, y'all. Come on. Right, where was it? Oh, Iuic. It's expose. Oh, no. This is John, somebody get John 3 and 14, Babaka Shah?
It's the book of, you got it up.
This is the book of John, chapter 3 and verse 14. And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness,
Right.
even so must the Son of Man be lifted up.
Right. Same way we spoke about this earlier. You know, he's our sign to look upon now. All right. That's what we look upon instead of the fringes. You know, we look at these and realize how we messed up.
Yeah.
Damn, we fucked up. But we look at Yahushua and we realize, hey, we got a hope. Okay. Over the 15.
That whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have eternal life.
Right. Not whosoever wear fringes. You know, whosoever that believe in him. How you gonna believe in him and not know his name? You know, and that's just it, man. The Iuic doesn't believe in his name. Now they're starting to teach the name of the Lord, but ain't nobody gonna say nothing about that. None of their congregation gonna say, hey, man, hey, leader, Nate, you was just teaching that his name wasn't that. You know, you even made fun of it, mocking it. But now you're saying it is. You know, so where else are you going off at? They're not asking these questions. So those are blind leaders of the blind. All right, all their followers are blind as well. All right, Philippians 3 and 2. We might split this one up. Yeah.
And it's the book of Philippians, chapter 3, verse 2. Beware of dogs, beware of evil workers, beware of the
Concision.
concision.
Right, the concision also represents the circumcision. All right, the ones that are cut off, man. You know, today, all right, the concision, the division. Beware of them, man. Beware of Iuic, people like that. The Pharisees described at that time. Go ahead.
Quick interjection.
Yeah, come on.
And it's the book of Titus, chapter 1 and verse 10. But there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not for filthy lucre's sake.
For money. And that was the foundation of their church, man. Iuic, through that 501c3 charter, through Nate Satan, you know, through the congregation giving their money, and the whole household giving money. They subvert whole household.
Hey, that's the only reason that you would have to get a 501c3. And on the Iuic website, they tell you that they have a 501c3, and they say we do it because the scriptures say, I forget what scripture they use to justify themselves, but the only reason you will be doing it is for the filthy lucre's sake.
Money.
So that way you can be tax exempt.
Yeah.
The same reason.
If you're not dealing with money, why you need to be tax exempt?
Why you need to quick interjection?
Why you need to deal with money anyway?
Why do you?
I mean, of course, we have to have it as a defense and as you know, to pay our bills, get rent under.
But that's in the world, though.
Right.
But what is our defense in the? I mean, this is our defense.
Right.
I mean, I don't know.
What need do you have for a booster club? What need do you have for people to give a certain amount of money a month to move up? That sounds just like Christian insanity.
Yeah.
That's what that sounds
Right.
like.
What were they doing? Yeah. What they had at their Passover? They was selling corsages.
Really?
Yeah.
Talking about that prom shit?
Yeah. They said get your corsage, man. It was either ISUPK or IUIC.
Was that GLC?
Huh? That's a corsage, like the little flower they wear at the prom. And you know that goes back to Greek. The Greek. So they were giving out corsages, and they said, yeah, the price for it is this. Like the women get your corsages before the Passover come up. You don't want to be the only one there without a corsage. See the hustle?
Yeah, Greeks now too.
Yeah, and the corsage cost like a bunch. It was a lot of money, man.
Burdens.
Heck yeah, burdens, man.
Previous burdens.
Casting burdens.
Casting burdens.
Subverting whole household, not just the man, just like Esau did with women's lib. First, women's liberation was for the Edomite women. Later on, they gave it to our women, you know.
IUIC full of women and children. Like mainly families go up in IUIC.
That's right, man. Whole households, man. Okay? Damn, that's deep, man. That's deep right there. But the Lord said he's not calling everybody a house. He's calling one of a house. Hey, yeah, 3 all the way to 21, so we can split it up.
Back in Philippians chapter 3 and verse 3. For we are the circumcision which worship Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua in the spirit and rejoice in Yahushua Mashiach.
Right, so the Lord just showed you right there that there was a difference between the carnal circumcision and the spiritual circumcision. And that's what we represent. The ones that are cut off from this world. You know, like the brother, Bishop Canuck was just saying, having the world in their heart. Now we're cut off from that. See that? The circumcision of the heart. Go ahead, brother.
And have no confidence in the flesh.
We don't have no confidence in the flesh, IUIC. Confidence of what? Faith. The word confidence go back to faith. We don't have no confidence or boldness to approach Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai because our laws, with the laws, because the laws, our righteousness is as filthy rags.
And that goes back to what the bishop said earlier with the Republican versus the Republican versus the scribe and Pharisees. It's better for that Republican because he was shamefaced. He didn't even want to lift up his head towards the Lord. He wasn't full of pride.
Right. Right, man. Right. Just like this brother here, we call him bishop because he's like, the word bishop just goes back to overseer. See, they look at bishop as something else. They on some church stuff. You know, the bishop's up front. And he's like, yeah, the bishop is here. Where is he? He's right there. You see, he's shiny suit.
Oh, yes.
But to be a bishop means if I'm not around, he can oversee certain things like a delegate. Just like what Moses was told to do, to handle certain matters. That's what that means, you know, the word bishop, okay? So go ahead, brother.
And it's back in Philippians 3 and 4. Though I might also have confidence in the flesh, if any other man thinketh that he have whereof he might trust in the flesh, I more.
Well, yeah, Paul was saying, shoot, if you think, I would love for Paul to walk by IUIC.
What Paul?
Yeah, cuss them the hell up. He was like, yo, you think y'all keeping the law? Shoot, I was keeping them perfect. He was a Pharisee of Pharisees, man. He was persecuting the church, killing people.
He might turn back into that same Paul.
Yeah, he wasn't killing, he was putting them to death. Like turning them over to the Romans and the Sanhedrin.
From the top again, though I might also have confidence in the flesh, if any other man thinketh that he have whereof he might trust in the flesh, I more. Circumcised the 8th day,
right,
of the stock of Israel, of the tribe of Benjamin, and Hebrew of the Hebrews, as touching the law of Pharisee.
Right. So he was a Hebrew. He was like overly righteous. He was saying.
He's like Paul, like shit. Come on, you got faith in the flesh. I even more. He knew the law
since birth.
And so, but he still didn't have faith in that.
Right. Right. Come on, man. We can't have faith in that. That we can make it off of that. That's what we're trying to say. That's our message. We have to have faith in Yahweh. Go ahead, brother. That's the point.
Verse 6, concerning zeal, persecuting the church,
right,
touching the righteousness which is in the law, blameless.
So right, because he was blameless, you know, because he thought he was doing right. You see what I'm saying? So he was persecuting the church, and he was doing it. He was persecuting the church, Read that part again. It's a point I missed. I want to speak
Concerning zeal.
Yeah, zeal. That word zeal goes back to being compassion, you know, compassionate. And you had zealots, and he was a zealot, and he was moving in the spirit what he thought was the truth. All right, he thought he was in the truth, man. So the Lord, like, I get you, you know. So he was basically forgiven for that. Go ahead, brother.
Concerning zeal, persecuting the church, touching the righteousness which is in the law, blameless.
See, he was blameless. See that he did everything according to the law. You know, go ahead.
For what things were gained to me, those I counted loss for Yahweh Shah Mashiach.
There you go, man. So we counted loss, and just like Paul did, everything that we do is as filthy rags, man, except for teaching his word. And even that, you know, we are unprofitable servants. Because the Lord already said the kingdom is prepared. What are we really doing? We just acting it out. All right. So he said, yeah, that's right, man. He said, as zeal touching the law, he was a Pharisees of Pharisees, man. He'd jump over the table and punch you in your mouth, man, if you were keeping the law wrong. And he wouldn't feel wrong for it. But he said he threw all of that away. You know? Go ahead. All the way 20. Someone will take over? Go ahead, brother.
Verse 8. Yeah, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Hamashiach Yahushua.
There you go. So all of that is but loss for the excellency of Yahushua. See that? So that they're not teaching you that. As soon as you run into IUIC, they're saying Jebus. But you ask them their names, they got Bishop Kanai, you know, all kind of Hebrew names. But you ask them the Lord's name, they don't know it. You know? You got an interjection? Go ahead, brother.
This is Romans chapter 10, verse 2. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge. So they have a zeal, they have a want, they have a desire to be righteous.
Just like Paul did.
Come on, but they don't do it according to knowledge, because it's to have the proper knowledge is you have the knowledge of faith. They don't have the knowledge of the law. That's a good knowledge to have to keep the law to the best of your ability, but you also need the knowledge of faith, the knowledge of hope in Yahweh Shai. Right. In Yahweh Shai.
Right, that's the law. That's the law of faith. That's right. All right. Keep going, brother. Go on.
For whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count.
Oh, you gotta call where you at.
Oh, God. I got the book of Philippians chapter 3 and verse 8. Oh. For whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win Yahweh Shai.
There you go, man. We count it as nothing but basically doo-doo. All our works is like shit. You know? That's it, man. So we walk up to IUIC and you think they chariot parked over there. You know, we got the fringes, you know, you got the microphone, they got everything they need. They got a rich leader. Got money, got record label. They got a record label.
They are record label.
Like, what is the Lord? I mean, come on, man. Yahweh, Paul was a tent maker. You see that? He ain't joined the Roman Empire like the Sanhedrin did.
Yahweh was a carpenter.
A carpenter.
Majority of the disciples were fishermen.
That's right, man. So he said, put on as the elect. You know, go that route. Desire your daily bread, man. We ain't about to make no Lions Den entertainment. Lions Den ENT. See our movie next week.
We gotta get the medallions.
We gotta get the medallions. Yeah,
the medallions. You know what I'm saying?
Copyright. We ain't about to do that. All right, go ahead.
As we speak.
Yeah, that's it.
Back at Philippians 3 and 9, and be found in him, not having my own righteousness, which is of the law, but that which is through the faith of Yahweh Shai, the righteousness which is of Yahweh by faith.
Woo. Not being found in him, that keeping our own righteousness, no. Saying, looking at the Lord, saying, I did it. No, we're gonna say, Yahweh Shai, you did it. You know, thank you. You're the one that said what? Behold, I make all things new. You know, he's gonna refresh us and make us perfect. You know, go ahead, brother.
Verse 10, that I may know him in the power of his resurrection.
Right, because he gave us a way to be perfect now. Even now, we're perfect in faith. Go ahead, brother.
And the fellowship of his sufferings, been made conformable unto his death. If by any means I might obtain unto the resurrection of the dead, not as though I had already attained either, We're already perfect.
And the elder just brought that out. They act like they got the chariot parked outside.
Yeah, man. Good. Yep.
But I follow after. But I follow after, if that I may apprehend that for which also I am apprehended of Yahushua HaMashiach. Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do,
right,
forgetting those things which are behind,
right,
and reaching forth unto those things which are before.
There you go, man. Not worrying about fringes and all that. You know, we're gonna wear them. We wear them because the Bible says to do so. But we ain't gonna teach you that. Yeah, this is the way to the kingdom. This is the way forward. You know, we're gonna say no. Yahushua is the way. He said it. He said, "I am the way, the truth, and the light." You know, like on Mandalorian. This is the way. Go ahead, brother.
1 Corinthians 3:14. I press forward. I press toward the mark of the prize of the high calling of Yahushua and of Yahweh and Yahushua HaMashiach.
Right. So we're pressing towards that mark of exemption. All right. That's what we're pressing towards. We're pressing towards being forgiven, man. You can't walk up to the Lord and say, "I'm keeping the laws perfect. Forgive me." No, He's gonna destroy you, man. Because you go off one, you go off in all of them. All right. And the wages of sin is death. You know. So yeah, I missed the point on that, but go ahead, keep going.
Let us therefore, as many as be perfect, be thus minded.
Right. Perfect in faith. That's right. If you want to be perfect, yeah, he ain't saying perfectly go around and take all the damn fringes out of the city. He's saying be perfect in faith. Be perfect in, he said, run. If you run in the race, run lawfully, man. Do it right. All right, go ahead.
And if in anything ye be otherwise minded, Yahweh shall reveal even this unto you.
Right, because in a race you have rules, man. And you got to go by the rules. That's what the Lord's saying. Go ahead.
Nevertheless,
what up?
Whereto we have already attained, let us walk by the same rule. Let us mind the same thing.
There you go. Let us. If you're in the same mind of Paul, he said what? Put on as the elect. And Paul was one of the elect. You know? So he said, let us mind the same thing, man. You know, but it's a bunch of division out here. That's why he said, watch out for the concision, man. Because they're going off. All right? And it shows you that in these last days, there was still going to be concision here. All right, go ahead. I was over 21?
17.
Okay, come.
Verse 17 of Philippians 3. Brethren, be followers together of me, and mark them which walk, so as ye have us for an example. Example.
That's right, man. That's right. We got Paul and them for our example, man. We don't need Nate. That's not an example. And Apostle Tahar, Elder Apostle Tahar, and the Elder Apostles of GMS. They are a perfect example of how Paul walked, man. Diligent in the work, you know. Prophesying the sackcloth. All right, but you got some cats out there that crept in unawares, man, selling garments and all that. Even though they don't have to be doing that. You know, I remember one guy was selling me a garment for $80 to $125. You know what I'm saying? Oh, like hell no! Give me that bag over there. I'm gonna rip this apart. Give me them scissors.
Verse 18. For many walk, of whom I have told you often, and now tell you even weeping, that they are the enemies of the cross of Yahushua.
Right, oh man, come on, yo. They're enemies, man. The Lord telling you, and the Lord used Paul to tell you that these people are enemies to the Lord. And that's why they treated this. That's why they act like that. All right? That's why they don't want the Lord's name. They're enemies to him. You see that? Go ahead. They're enemies to the truth. Blasphemers.
Whose end is destruction, whose God is in their belly, and whose glory is in their shame, who mind earthly things.
There you go, man. That's them, man. Their God is in their belly. Their money, man. You know? And they mind their earthly things, yo. All right? Record labels. Bible, what's he, you know? Shoot. Go ahead, brother. Mark 1 and 6. Did we already get that?
I got a question. Now, with the laws being in our inward parts, will we be having fringes in the kingdom? Don't know the answer to that question, but
I believe so.
But the state of mind, the state of mind, them worrying so much about fringes.
You ain't gonna need it, yeah. No, go ahead. I got you.
So at the end of the day, we're gonna have the laws in our inward part, so we're never gonna forget.
We ain't gonna need the fringes.
So thank you. That's my point. We may have fringes in the kingdom, but the point is we're not gonna need them. So when we're trying to guide our Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushua people to perfection, having faith in Yahweh Shai.
Right.
That's it.
That's right. That's gonna be the new style. You don't wear them fringes, you get your head chopped off. Fringes gonna be the new fashion. Just like now, to get a job, you gotta wear a suit.
Right.
In the kingdom, to deal with us, you got to wear the fringes in the covenant. And the nation that don't want to do it, they're gonna off with his head.
Hey, and one quick statement, like they asked me where my fringes, and I said, "Where's your garment?" Right? They thought I was talking about. They thought I meant like, "Where's your covering?"
Yep.
You ain't. They don't even understand. They're not covered, man. They try to cover themselves under the laws. That's gonna be their doom.
Right. Right. Us on top. Right, bro.
Just a quick cut. This is 1 John chapter 1, verse 8. If we say that we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us. And pretty much IUIC says that we have fallen short, and from time to time we will transgress if we are not paying attention. You know, these bodies are sinful. We have gone against the Heavenly Father. So if you say within yourself that you don't have no sin, you're deceiving yourself and you're lying to yourself. And this is I almost said Esau. This is what IUIC do. You know, they pretty much basically say they don't have no sin because they follow all 613 laws, and that's pretty much impossible in these chains of darkness, this flesh. It's not gonna happen. You know, of course we can follow not eating pork. You know,
you give sacrifice.
Yeah, we can follow those simple laws, but there's other things that we may fall short at that we may not even know of. You know, IUIC, do you understand that it's a commandment for us to get wisdom by the Heavenly Father? That's a commandment.
They're stupid.
You know what I'm saying? So this boasting in the law and saying that you're following all 613, we're gonna say laws or guidelines properly, you're a liar and you're deceiving yourself. That's why you get the moniker or the nickname IUIC.
Right, man.
Because y'all, I see y'all lying.
Yeah, Israelites united in lies. Yep. Yeah, bring that on first. Let me get this.
This is 1 Timothy chapter 1, and I'm gonna start at verse 6. From which some, having swayed, have turned aside into vain jangling, desiring to be teachers of the law, understanding neither what they say nor whereof they affirm. But we know that the law is good if a man use it lawfully, knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man, but for the lawless and disobedient, for the ungodly and for sinners, for unholy and profane murderers of fathers and murderers of mothers, for manslayers, for whoremongers, for them that defile themselves with mankind, for men stealers, for liars, for pariah persons. And if there,
what happens when you're not that no more? The law was made for that. The law was made for those people. But what happens when you're not that type of person no more? And you become a new creature. What type of law are you under now? I thought that was a fucking B. What the hell is that?
The drone. Again.
So yeah, now we're under the law of faith. That's what makes us perfect. All right, go ahead, bro.
and if there be any other thing that is contrary to sound doctrine, according to the glorious gospel of the blessed Yahweh Shem Yahushua, which was committed to my trust.
Right, man, because what? This law, this truth is spiritual. Once you become spiritual, you need something to govern the spirit now. That's your Yahushua, all right? And now, through the spirit, we govern the flesh. With the laws. Easy. That is it. Go ahead, brother. So imagine if John was to walk up to him. Go ahead, brother.
All right, this is the book of Saint Mark, chapter 1, verse 6.
Right, we'll speak about Yachanan, who was really Elijah. All right, and later on came back as Abba Bivens. You know? So Nate going off, if his congregation calling him that, allegedly, calling him Elijah, he needs to say, yo, I'm not him. All right? Even John did that. They said, are you Elijah? He said, nah. That shows how humble John was. Yahweh Shai had to tell them people that he was Elijah. Go ahead, brother.
All right, this is the book of St. Mark, chapter 1, verse 6. And John was clothed with camel's hair and with a girdle of a skin about his loins.
Right.
And he did eat locusts and wild honey.
Right. He couldn't be an IUIC. They'll treat him real bad, man. You know? They would treat John real bad, man. Treat him like a bum. He walked up in camel's hair. All right, go ahead. He had a belt, a leather belt. You know, what's that? A girdle?
Fine. It said with a girdle of a skin about his loins.
See that? All right, go ahead. That was it on that.
You want me to keep going?
Yeah.
Verse 7.
Yeah, let's read that one.
All right, verse 7. And preach, saying,
right,
there cometh one mightier than I after me.
That was the first message he gave. He didn't say, wear your fringes. You know? He didn't go straight to the laws. He was teaching repentance, man. All right? He was teaching what? To turn back to the Father. But he was saying there's coming one greater than him. Because the scribes and the Pharisees, they would just go sacrifice. And they would go back to sinning. But John was teaching something different about repentance. But he said there's going to show up one greater than him that's going to teach you about repentance for eternity. Go ahead.
The latch of whose shoes I am not worthy to, what it is, sprout.
To stoop.
All right. Whose shoes I am not worthy to stoop down and unloose.
Yeah, see that? All right. So now, and that one that was greater than him is Yahushua. Okay. Right. And Yahushua said he spoke about John as well. All right. Somebody get Matthew 11:7. And what is it in that chat? I think it's in that chat. I might have it right here though. Yeah, go ahead.
Matthew 11:7. And as they departed, Yahushua began to say unto the multitude,
right,
concerning John, what went ye out unto the wilderness to see?
Right, because at this point, they asked a bunch of men ran back to John while he was in the prison. While he was in prison, they ran back to him. They said, yo, there's a man out here doing miracles. Is this the Lord you was talking about? So John sent them back to ask the question to the Lord. And they said, are you, it's up further in the verse, but we ain't got to really focus on it. But he was saying, are you that guy that I was looking for? John already knew it was him, but John was just sending his men so they can, you know, believe too. You know, witnesses. Yeah, you need just some witnesses. And what Yahushua said was, tell John that the blind see and the deaf hear. Basically, I'm doing my part. They about to cut his head off, so this is supposed to boost his faith. You see that? So this was a faith booster to him, man. So the Lord blessed John right before his death, before they cut his head off. Right? We had to wake up Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to the fact that they're the Israelites of the Bible. That's right.
Verse 7.
It's not about color either. You know, we all look like different colors.
It says, and they departed, and Yahushua began to say unto the multitudes concerning John, what went ye out unto the wilderness to see? A reed shaken with the wind? But what went ye out for to see? A man clothed in soft raiment?
Right, yeah. They wanted to see the burning bush. No. Or a man clothed some spectacular thing, because they expect the prophets to be like, you know, floating. You know what I mean? And a man clothed in soft raiment. Who wears soft raiment? People that sit in king's houses. You know? And that's what Yahushua is wearing now. He's a king now. But you know, but it said that John was wearing camel's hair. So people today would have looked at John like a bum. All right, that's why the Lord told us to come out and prophesy in sackcloth. You got to have a garment down to your knees at least, you know, when you're teaching. All right, when you're in this truth, when you come out the camp. Go ahead.
It says, behold, they that wear soft clothing are in king's houses. But what went ye out for to see? Right. A prophet? Yea, I say unto you, and more than a prophet.
See, John was more than just a prophet, but he humbled himself, man. He lived a humble life. He said how he spoke about Yahweh Shai. You don't hear Nate speaking like that. You see that? How humble is Nate? Nate walking around these glorious garments. What the hell he had on? It's like a Ninja Turtle outfit.
Hey,
It's like something from Power Rangers.
he always wears snake skin or alligator
It was like
skin.
snakes, reptile type stuff, right? You know, Nate the snake. All right,
Alligator ain't cheap.
right. That was it on 9. All right, let's get the So that's why the Lord said, put on as the elect, man. Don't follow after these snakes and fakes. All right, Matthew 7 and 13.
It's Matthew chapter 7. Oh, slacking. Chapter 7, verse 13.
I know it seemed like it was gonna be right.
It says, enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction.
Right, this is straights. You got to go through straights, man, like John was to do. Or like today, we out here teaching in sackcloth. We ain't got no 501c3 charter. You have brothers that need help sometimes. We don't have no money for it. But but the Lord make a way.
Every single time.
Every single time. And sometimes we can chip in, But them, oh man, I can imagine. You had a lot of people like that dude Yoradon. He's been getting $10,000, $5,000, $20,000. Like that dude that used to be over there in what was that called, man? Overseas, not Haiti, but Trinidad. Yeah, that dude, man. He used to be getting millions from people, paralyzed people. I mean, thousands from people. What you think Nate and them doing, man? They getting money. They wouldn't have. That was I think he said that earlier. What type of hustle would they have if they wasn't in this truth? I wonder that sometimes. Like
They'll still be drug dealers.
They'll still be drug dealers, Wait, I don't know if they were doing that.
Maybe he would have been a dirty cop.
He'd have been a cop.
Yeah.
He'd have been 5-0.
Well, he was a detective.
Yep.
But he probably would have been dirty.
But he left. He left after he allegedly locked them 2 dudes up.
Jakes up.
Yeah, and then he lied on them and all that. Yeah. So yeah, man, this dude got a bad rap. All right. And now somebody get that. So, you already read it?
Yeah.
Matthew 7:13. Oh, did you?
I'll read it again.
Come.
It's Matthew 7 and 13.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Enter ye in at the straight gate,
Right.
for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go and go thereat.
Right. So what's that? The word straight means affliction. You come this route, that goes with Sirach chapter 2, verse 1. Once you come this route, once you go to serve the Lord sincerely and in truth, he said what? The Lord, somebody get that secret stuff to worship him? Sincerity and truth. Let's get these two real quick.
This is John chapter 4, verse 22. Ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
There you go. Go ahead.
But the hour cometh, and now is when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father seeketh such to worship him.
Right, we're in that hour right now, man. Where the Lord is seeking such to work. He's seeking it, man. Just give it to him. Give him what he's looking for, man. Just serve the Lord correctly, the right way. Period, man. And they're not trying to do that. He's seeking such to worship him in spirit and in truth. Not in the flesh. No, he's saying in the spirit, the spirit that dwells in the flesh. That's wrong. Huh.
The book of Sirach,
This is the straight gate, man, right here.
chapter 2 and verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Right, man. You got to prepare your soul. And he said, prepare your soul by putting on the whole armor of the Lord. That you may be able to withstand the wiles of the devil. And the fiery darts of Satan, you'll be able to quench them. And them fiery darts go into missiles as well. All right. And that's what Esau's setting up. They're setting up all kind of lies and propaganda against our people. And then ultimately, they want to fire missiles on this place. See that? Go ahead. But the Lord said you'll be able to quench it. And no weapon formed against you shall prosper.
Sirach chapter 2 and verse 2. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble.
Right.
Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
Right. And by cleaving unto him, you cleave unto the body. You know, the body, which is who? The churches. The churches today are the what? The called out ones, the sincere ones. So you cleave unto the body, you know. You can be a foot, you can be an arm, you can be anything. You got to know your place, you know. And when you knew in this truth, you shouldn't try to be the head like Sakari now. All right. So you cleave unto your like, you know, being sincere in the truth. The ones that's serving the Lord in spirit and the truth. All right. All right. Let's get up out of here, man, with these gnats. Mark 7:6. No, 2 Timothy 3:1.
In 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy.
Yep, disobedient to their elders. That's Nate. He broke off from his elders at that school they went to, man, the One West. And he broke off and threw away the Lord's name and went his own way. All right? But the Lord said, wide is the gate that leadeth to destruction. He joined that congregation.
And if I may add on too, they say in the last days, perilous times shall come, man. Hey, evil times, bad times, which is another thing that they don't speak of, man. Hey, like Scripture say, through great tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom of heaven. And another lie that Nate the Snake teaches is that we're not going to go through any great tribulation, man.
Oh,
you know?
He said that. We got to focus on that.
Hey, Gun. In the interview, I forgot the dude's name, but basically asked him, so you're saying there's not going to be any great tribulation before we go into the kingdom of heaven? And then the interviewer brought out the scripture to debunk his ass, man. You know? So with that being said, hey, man, it's just lies on top of lies, man. Going back to Proverbs 29:12, ruler hearkening lies, all his servants are wicked.
What he meant, moron, that it wasn't going to be any tribulation at that time. That's what he tried to rebuttal back and say.
All right. Where was that?
2 Timothy 3
I get it.
Yeah, all the way to 7.
It is 2 Timothy 3:3. Without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good.
Right, man. They despise. They call evil good and good evil. They hate GMS. You say anything GMS, they like, I hate them GM. That was Johanna. He said, you one of them GMSs? He was calling the phone when he was live. He like, you one of them GMSs. I know who you is.
You got IUIC Nate the Snake. He gave us the acronym BBHI. Bum Black Hebrew Israelites.
Yep.
You know, haters of those that do good.
Yeah, and they put out an order saying they can't listen to no other congregation.
God.
Yep. So yeah, keep going. Yep. So they hate us, man. And they really hate the Lord. That's why the Lord said they're enemies to him. Go ahead, brother.
2 Timothy chapter 3 and 4. Traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God.
That's right, man. They love this world, like the brother Bishop Canuck said a minute ago. His brother Canuck. He said, what they love this world, man. You know, and all the pleasures that come with it. You know, they look, you watch their video, you think we're in the kingdom. You see them getting married and shit.
Hey, yeah. Drawing out weddings.
Yeah, everybody got on gold. You think we rich, but it's fake gold. I want real gold.
Movie that had like fake angels, human people hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah, right, man. Like who, you know? Right, they have. You'll see the whole wedding. It'll be all gold. Ain't no real, ain't a lick of gold up in there. All right, let's get it, brother.
And it's 2 Timothy 3 and 6. For this sort are they which crept into houses and lead captive silly women, Latin with sins, led away with diverse lusts, ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth.
Right, man. Yep. You heard about a lot of deaths in their camp with the women, a lot of abuse. A lot of women approach me about the abuse that certain members are doing. I'm like, damn. I don't like making accusations, so I don't do no lessons on it. You know what I mean? But they are out there. All right. So they subvert whole households and then they treat, I don't want to say allegedly treating the women like shit. All right, go ahead. Oh, that was it. Always 7, right? All right, come on. So yeah, man, that's dumb, man. Traitors, heady, high-minded, man. What's that dude's name, man? They call him the lemur, the dude with the big eyes, man. Y'all know what I'm talking about in IUIC. The dude with the big eyes, right, Uriah? All right, it might be him. You know, this dude said the Lord's name could be anything. It could be called Yo Play Yogurt. Yeah, that dude. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That was like blasphemy.
That was blasphemy, man.
And that was similar to what ISUPK did concerning John the Baptist.
Right. And they didn't repent of that, man. They ain't put no video out denouncing what they did. You know? Romans 8:1 over to 10. Go ahead, make your point, bro.
I would say, but when they do make a blunder, and the true congregation of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua corrects it, instead of them, like the elder was saying, instead of them putting out a video saying that they were wrong, they just try to smooth over it like they didn't say it.
Like it never happened. Yeah.
Like it never happened. Like Nate, when he was blaspheming in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and then he came back with a rebuttal video trying to smooth it over.
Yep.
You can't doll up. You cannot make blasphemy look good. Once you do it, it's done.
Lord gonna blaspheme that ass.
And that's spiritual. That's what they do to themselves, putting on that cleaning the outside of the cup, but not the inward side.
Right. Right, man. Where we at? Somebody got something? Yeah, kind of all the way to 10. Bring that out real quick, brother.
This is Luke chapter 18, verse 19. We were talking about it a lot, so I just wanted to bring it out. Luke chapter 18, verse 9, and he spake this parable unto certain which trusted in themselves that they were righteous and despised other. 2 men went up into the temple to pray, the one a Pharisee and the other a publican. The Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself, God, I thank thee that I am not as other men are, extorters, unjust, adulterers, or even as this publican. I fast twice in the week. I give tithes of all that I possess. And the publican standing afar off would not lift up so much as his eyes unto heaven, but smote upon his breast, saying, God, me merciful to me a sinner.
Yeah, break it down, brother.
Gone. And so this Pharisee saying that, oh, I do all this, I'm better than he is.
Even through the neighbor or under the bus.
And that's wickedness.
Boasting against the branches.
Because if you truly humble yourself, you'll know that you are but a speck of dust, and you would feel powerless, and you wouldn't want to lift up your eyes unto heaven as well. And the scriptures also say that. Go ahead.
No. I was just agreeing with you, and I got into not necessarily debate, a conversation with an individual, and I was just basically like, "Yo, you don't matter. We don't matter. Oh, I do matter to the Lord. You ain't gonna tell me I don't matter to the Lord, man. All that kind of stuff." But at the end of the day, what I was trying to understand, the spirit is within us that matters, because that fleshly person on the outside means nothing. This flesh is going to perish. We need to be concerned with the spirit being transitioned to the new flesh. So then we realize that we don't matter. Look, what did he say? I could raise up rocks to worship me. You know?
Right, man. That's why you say take the humble route.
Take
the road less traveled.
One more verse. Verse 14. I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other. For everyone that exalts himself shall be abased. And
right. Esau exalted themselves. And even amongst our people, they exalt themselves, man. Like these celebrities. They become, like Apostle Ryan did a lesson on it a few weeks ago about these entertainers and these celebrities. That they become the priests on the left-hand side. You know, entertainers. You know, so let's just read that again.
For everyone that exalts himself shall be abased.
Right, so they exalting themselves in this society, man.
And it's evident that they're selected. But it's very much evident that they exalt themselves.
Right.
When they have the videos of the Passover, it's not a solemn assembly. It's a party.
Yeah, man.
Who are they worshing in that party? Nate.
Hey, Con, you know that they probably got seasoned lamb.
They
ain't doing it properly.
Allegedly.
Yo, no, this is fun.
They ain't even hasty.
Look, hey, did you see the video of the Passover? He said, everybody line up and get in order for the prayer. And then they said the prayer, everybody got quiet. And they was like, oh, here go the prayer. And I was waiting for them to say like Jesus or something. And they're like, Mother down the sea, Mother down the sea.
They're doing the army chant.
Yeah. They did the whole damn chant, and after that, they were like, all right, come on, let's move on to the next day. Where the prayer? What happened to the prayer, man? I wanted to pray. Where the prayer at? They're like, the sun is to the left, right, up. Oh, that was their prayer, man. That was their prayer. I'm gonna do a lesson on it so everybody can see it.
And he that humbleth himself shall be exalted.
Yeah.
So if you exalt yourself, you're going to be put down. But if you're already at a lower state, which we all are, all of us are, especially in this society, we call ourselves trying to be righteous, that we're put low, you're going to be exalted.
Right.
If you humble yourself before Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Right. Anything that's prideful, the Lord said He's gonna meet you with pride. Yep. Anything that's lowly, He's gonna meet you with mercy. He's gonna raise you up, raise us up. All right. So it's better to take the low route. The Lord saying, "Get low. I'm about to flame the place."
Cry now, laugh later.
That's right, man. Well, laugh now, cry later.
No, in this society, they're laughing right now because they're in league with the world. Right now, we're crying in mourning.
Got you. Yeah, that's backwards for us. Yeah. I'm with you, brother. Romans 8:1 out of 10.
God bless you all.
All right, thank
This
you,
is
man.
the book of
Appreciate it.
Romans, chapter 8, and verse 1. There is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Yahweh Shah Mashiach.
Right, man. So ain't no condemnation to the men of the Lord that's in the truth, man. You got to know this. All right. So, but they act like they don't have no condemnation, you know, because they got the fringes. They got all the fringes in the damn city. Go ahead, brother.
No, it's a famine on fringes.
It's a famine on fringes because a lot of Iuic.
They hoarding all the fringes.
Oh man.
And in that day,
the fringe famine because of Iuic. Thanks for y'all.
They're not storing more. They ain't hoarding all the food for the herd. They hoarding all the fringes.
Yeah, they got fringes on everything.
wait a minute. That might be some truth on that. Since they say fringes gonna get you salvation, they holding all the salvation and they were hiding it from the people.
This is back in Romans 8 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
There is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Yahweh Shah Mashiach, who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit.
Right, we're walking after the spirit, man, not the flesh. Okay, go ahead.
For the law of the spirit of life in Yahweh Shah Mashiach.
Whoa, what? The law of what?
Of the spirit of life.
Whoa, so that's the law. That's the law of the spirit of life. See that? So we're not focused on the flesh. And in that spirit, the law of the spirit of life, there is no condemnation. As long as we walk correctly. But when you say you're keeping the law perfectly, they condemned already. See that? Go ahead. Interjection?
No, after this.
Okay. Go ahead, bro.
It's Romans 8 and 2. For the law of the spirit of for the law of the spirit of life and Yahweh Shah Mashiach have made me free from the law of sin and death.
Right, man. See that? That faith in the true spirit of life is gonna lead you away from sinning, man. You see some pork, you ain't gonna eat it. See what I'm saying? You see a man's wife, you're not gonna talk to her because the spirit of the Lord is within you. All right, leading you correctly. And if you go off, you're gonna look to the law. You're gonna look in the Bible in the spirit of truth, and you're gonna go through the laws. And you're gonna say, all right, yeah, I'm gonna make sure I'm doing that correctly. You know, and that's why Yahweh Shai said it. I came not to break. Let's get that. Matthew, I think it's 5.
I get a quick interjection.
Yeah.
This is Galatians chapter 3, verse 24. Wherefore the law was our schoolmaster to bring us unto a Mashiach, that we might be justified by faith. But after that faith is come, we are no longer under a schoolmaster. So
oh wow. You just said everything we was talking about. Right, because
wherefore the law is our schoolmaster.
All right,
so we make sure we conduct ourselves in that manner, but that we might be justified. Go ahead.
No.
But that we might be justified by faith.
Faith, man.
Because if you have faith the size of a grain of a mustard seed, you shall move mountains.
Right.
If you got fringes on, you're supposed to be able to move mountains. Oh, bro, you can.
You gonna go like this to the mountain.
Right.
Yeah. And those that believe in Yahweh Shai are justified already. See that? Damn, that was on point, man.
The laws is our schoolmaster, right? So it's what? To teach the flesh how to be righteous.
God damn.
The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So now that Yahweh Shai is sitting on the right hand of the Father, and his spirit was poured down here on his elect, that becomes our teacher of righteousness.
Right. Yep. That's called graduation.
Done.
Because school, if you look at a school of fish, that was Israel as a nation. But now you have to have some that graduate from that. You know what I mean?
Done.
And that's what the elect have done. The elect have graduated to another level.
Done.
You know, something greater. All right, but you still got some people that still left back. You know, that's IUIC. That was it on that. That was it. That was the only point. All right, let's get back to Romans.
It's back in Romans chapter 8. And I'll start at verse 3.
Come on, we're going over the time.
Come on. For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, Yahweh sending his own son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin condemned sin in the flesh.
What's his son's name?
Yahweh. And that's why he was made lower than the angels, man. To walk in the flesh, to conquer death, man, to conquer sin, to swallow up sin.
That's right. That's right, man.
So you preach law. You have to also understand that there's some things that the law can't do with us. So what's there to breach up those laws? Yahweh Bashem Yahweh.
Right. Yep. Let's get that Matthews real quick.
Right. Matthews.
Yeah, Mazan got it.
Oh, okay.
All right, this is the book of St. Matthews, chapter 5, verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
Right. Yeah. So he came, he fulfilled every law correctly, and he fulfilled every prophecy that all the prophets ever spoke. All right. He did not show up saying, don't keep the law. Just like they try to lie and say, we're teaching that. No, we're not saying don't keep the law, man. We're saying stop boasting in the law. That's what Paul was saying. Stop boasting, man. That's what they're doing. They're boasting in the law. You know, it's just straight like that. Go ahead, brother. The car got an interjection.
Yeah. Back up, brother, my God. This is Romans chapter 4, verse 33. Salaki chapter 3, verse 31. Do we then make void the law through faith? Yahweh forbid. Yea, we establish the law.
So we don't make void the law through our faith. We are here to establish the law, to make sure that the law is known, is being taught.
Right. Oh, Galatians 2:16. Go ahead, brother.
Taught correctly, not solely going only according to the law, because if you go according to the law solely, you will be guilty of the law for breaking the least of those commandments, and you will get destroyed anyway, because we can't. Y'all mother hubbers are stupid. I'm done. This is Galatians 2:16. Knowing that a man is not justified by the works of the law.
Right, well, that's what the car was just saying. You got to know this, that we're not justified by the works of the law. All right, you just got to know that. Go ahead.
But by the faith of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
Yeah, so you walk up to IUIC. Damn.
They are in the ICU, though.
Yeah, it's like crazy, you know. But you said what? You know, read that again, brother.
It says, Galatians 2:16, knowing that a man is not justified by the works of the law.
That's right, man. Yeah, Rod. Awesome. Yeah, faith without works is dead. You ain't got no works on your damn page. All right. He said, what? You're not justified by the works of the law. All right, bonehead.
But
right. By what?
But by the faith of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, even we have believed in Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, that we might be justified by the faith of the HaMashiach, and not by the works of the law.
That's the point, man. See, I can go right over their head like an airplane, you know. But they're gonna say, no. See, y'all teaching people not to keep the law. See, that's why I can't talk to IUIC. You'll tell them all of this, and they'll still say you're teaching people not to keep the law. We just read Yahweh Shai didn't come to do that. He came to teach you to stop boasting. You know, go ahead, brother.
It says,
because you can be confounded and destroyed that way, man.
For by the works of the law shall no flesh be justified.
There you go. It's about justification. Now, should we not keep the law? You know, the Lord said, God forbid. Yea, through faith we establish the law, just like Yahweh Shai did. Through faith, not saying, yo, through the law only. You know what I mean? Somebody hold something?
Hey, a false balance is an abomination to the Lord.
Come on, brother.
And I got one.
Yep, Galatians 2 and what happened? 16. All right, go ahead real quick. I think
and it's a quick one. This is Romans 11 and 18. Boast not against the branches, but if thou boast, thou bearest not the root. but the root deep.
Hey, who is that root?
Oh,
Yahweh Shai is that root, man. So you boasting in the law that you disconnecting yourself from the tree.
Yep.
Because what? Because what? By the works of the law, part of the branches were cut off, but through Yahweh Shai they're brought back into the root. So how are you going to boast against the branches when because of unbelief they were cast out? So now they're brought back in, not according to the works of the law, but for the hearing of faith, man.
right, man. Well, that's the next one's coming right. Right. But this is Romans 3 and 19. Oh, somebody will get that. Somebody get Romans 3 and 19.
Go all the way to 90.
This is Romans chapter 3, verse 19.
31. All the way 31.
It says, now we know what things soever the law saith, it saith to them that are under the law.
Right, man. Just like he said that. It saith to them that are under the law. He said, what? Sinners. You know? But the Lord said you're justified if you believe in Yahweh Shai. All right? Go ahead. So those that claim to be, yeah, I'm under the law. I'm not under this under Yahweh Shai. Right? Go ahead.
It says that every mouth may be stopped and all the world may become guilty before Yahweh.
That's why the Lord set it up that way. All right. He put the law in place for sinners so he can count the whole world under sin. And through that, you have to turn to him to be perfect. All right. Without that law there, where was sin? You know? So he put the law there just to show that how imperfect we are. Like a reflection in our face, man. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 20.
And to show his purity, his perfection. Go ahead, brother.
It says, therefore, by the deeds of the law, there shall no flesh be justified in his sight.
Period, man. All right, so we're not saying don't keep them. Live in the law. All right, but don't go around boasting, saying you're going to be saved by the law. All right? Because no man and no flesh is justified by the law. Period. Go ahead, brother.
It says,
that's the end of the conversation. But with them, you have to keep going to try to prove the point.
It says, for by the law is the knowledge of sin.
Right, so there you go. See, without the law, we would have no knowledge of sin. See, the law was our schoolmaster. It taught us what sin was. All right, go ahead.
Verse 21. But now the righteousness of Yahweh without the law is manifest, being witnessed by the law and the prophet.
Being witnessed by the law and the prophet, the same one that Yahweh Shai said he didn't come to do away with. All right, and is witnessed by the law and the prophets. Okay, read that part again. I won't lose no point on it.
It says, but now the righteousness of Yahweh without the law is manifest.
Right, the spirit of truth, the spirit of Yahweh Shai, him sacrificing himself on the cross for us. That's our righteousness. Let me look at it. It say, go ahead.
It says,
oh man, so he's revealing what our righteousness is now. He said in the flesh, our righteousness is as filthy rags. So what type of righteousness could we have right now? Revealed through Yahweh Shai.
God. It says, being witnessed by the law and the prophets. Verse 22.
Yeah, come on, bring that power, brother.
Even the righteousness of Yahweh, which is by faith of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, unto all and upon all them that believe, for there is no difference. For all have sinned and come short of the glory.
Right, somebody speak on real quick.
So basically,
all have sinned. That's right. Now go ahead, brother.
No. So no flesh is gonna be able to glory in the law, man. So nobody's gonna be able to say, I'm coming to Yahweh Shai, what's up, bro? I kept them laws, boy. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? You ain't even have to go up there on that cross. I had you. You feel me? Can't nobody boast of on that, so you can't glory in none of that. So the Lord made a way for us to come back to him through hope. And that hope is in faith in Yahweh Shai.
Right. Hey, this is Jeremiah 23:6. In his days, Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely. And this is the name, and this is his name, whereby he shall be called the Lord our righteousness. See that? So he's our righteousness, and he's doing that now. He's setting it up to where he's our righteousness, not our own.
Precept.
All right, that's prophecy, right? That was prophecy, man. Going back to Jeremiah. All right, go ahead, brother.
And this is 1 John chapter 3, verse 23.
Right.
And this is his commandment, that we should believe on the name of his son, Yahushua HaMashiach, and love one another as he gave us commandment. Hey, you know, just to further back that up, man. Hey, the way of salvation and the way of righteousness is through the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. In order to attain that way of salvation and righteousness by calling upon his name, you know, going back to Romans 10 and 13, for whosoever call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved, man. And also dealing with the law, statutes, commandment, call upon his name. So therefore, by you saying his name, it's not giving you all just in a big ball of bullshit, man. You ain't gonna be able to get out of it, man. Also, hey, let those that name the name of the Lord depart from iniquity. So therefore, you're gonna have your ass down here swimming in the fiery pit, man.
Right. Go ahead, brother. And then we're gonna go back to Romans.
This Judges chapter 10 and verse 14 or 13. Yet ye have forsaken me and served other gods, wherefore I will deliver you no more. Go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen, let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation.
Wow.
Let's let them laws deliver you in the time of the tribulation.
Jesus.
Come on.
They still calling by they still calling on the name Baal. So the husband, Yahweh's not going to send the husbandman to deliver IUIC. They're not part of the bride, all right, unless they repent and leave that congregation, man. All right. So the Lord gonna leave them and say, yeah, nah, call on that Jebus name. Call on that.
Call on Jebus Christian.
And let's see who's correct. Yeah, let's see who's correct.
Call on Nate.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. A lot of them probably would. Yeah, they do that too. You talk to them like, they call him and shit.
Yeah.
And then he be like, don't talk to him.
Hey, you gonna be like with that Ricky Bobby on Talladega Nights when he thought he was on fire.
Tom Cruise.
He call on everything.
That boy called everybody but the Heavenly Father.
Yeah, hey man, that Labyrinth, that's a good movie, man. You only speak English.
Oh, thank you.
All right, thank you, bro. All right, yeah, no offense.
I wouldn't think.
All right, no, yeah, that's a good one, man. That's a good shirt.
Romans.
Yeah, Romans.
It's back at Romans chapter 8 and verse 4. That the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us. We'll read up a little bit. Verse 3. God sending his own son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin condemned sin in the flesh, that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us, who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit.
Right, see that, there you go. We back to that point again. See, we walking not after the flesh, IUIC and Uriah. We walking after the spirit, my man. All right. And that's the whole difference, and it does matter. You know, you walk in the flesh, you're gonna live after the flesh, you're gonna be judged after the flesh. You walk in the spirit, you're gonna live after the spirit and conquer the flesh, man. Through the spirit. You see that? All right, that's why he told the Jews, he said, I'm gonna deliver them. I forgot what he said to them, but then he said to the Gentiles through faith. All right, through faith, they're gonna conquer the flesh. You know?
It's back.
So they couldn't imagine that. They try to come into the truth, and you say you got to keep the laws perfectly. They'll bow out. They'll bow out. So you say, hey, believe in Yahushua, believe in the truth, and then you hit them with the laws along the way. Hey, stop eating pork, stop eating lobster, stop doing it. You know, and it builds up at the time. All right. See, a lot of people turn away from it because they feel like they can't keep the laws perfectly. You know, so we have to give them some type of hope.
Yahushua is that hope.
He's the hope. All right, go ahead.
It is back in
Oh,
Romans.
you know, you want to pass it off?
Anybody can grab it.
Yeah, all the way to 31. So you know, help them out.
I'm in verse 5. This Romans 8 and 5. But they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit.
Oh, you still in Romans 8?
All right.
Okay, yeah, we're going all the way to 10.
All right. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
Yep.
Because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua.
Yeah.
For it is not subject to the law of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua.
Right, because what he say? The Most High said he's looking for those to worship him in spirit and in truth. If you're dealing with the flesh, you're at enmity with the Lord right now. You know, all right, dealing with things of the flesh. Go ahead, brother.
For it is not subject to the law of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, neither indeed can be. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. But ye are not in the flesh, but in the spirit, if so be that the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai dwell in you.
Right.
Now, if any man have not the spirit of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, he is none of his.
Wow. So, hey, I would say, wide is the gate that leads to destruction, man. Hey, they got so many IUIC members, they can fill up this whole field right here.
I was just in chat.
Yeah, man. Yep. Yeah, they marching like a whole army. But it's an army of the dead. It's funny. But, yep.
Verse 10. And if Yahweh Shai Mashiach be in you, the body is dead because of sin, but the spirit is life because of righteousness.
Right, man. See that? So if the Lord be in you, you know, the body's gonna be dead because of sin. You're gonna conquer the flesh. You see that? All right. You're gonna conquer the flesh, man. That's what Paul said. He said, "I keep under my body." You know, he's every day wrestling, keep it focused. You know, through the spirit, man. All right. And you gotta tell others to do the same. And you gotta tell them that a just man falls 7 times. You're not gonna be perfect in the flesh, but you're gonna be perfect someday. The Lord gonna make us perfect. He's gonna give us new bodies. You know, we're gonna have everything right. We're gonna have garments made of stardust. You know, diamonds and stuff like that, man. He said, what? Those that sit in soft raiment, they're in king's houses. That's what we're gonna be wearing in the kingdom. All right. That's why when you see Yahushua in Revelations, he was wearing a robe. Abba Bivin said he saw him. He was wearing a blue robe. You know, he said he wearing a girdle around his waist. You know, so warriors, they wear girdles around their loins so they don't get hit in their loins. But a king, they will wear, once you get on the royalty, they wear like a prince, you know, a girdle. You got the whole princely gear, you know what I'm saying? And that's what we're gonna be wearing, man. And yes, I would love to have fringes on mine. Period. You know what I'm saying? Everything that's Israel, yeah, I want it in the kingdom. I don't want no tuxedo. I don't want no shiny suit like Nate got. Don't give me that. Man, listen, I wear that out here, we'll be blind. It's so damn sunny out here.
How to get hot as shit.
Huh?
How to get hot as
The
shit.
hot, I dare him to wear it. Anyway.
All their garments is wearing in the AC.
Come on, brother.
This, the book of Matthew, chapter 11 and verse 28. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light.
Right, man.
You know, so you just want to learn of the Lord and learn his name, all right? And ultimately learn the things to please the Lord, all right?
Brother.
You know, pertaining to the law and keep it to the best of your ability. But as far as having a doctrine of law, and keeping the law, all right, that's making the people heavy Latin. That's making the people turn their face from the Lord, man. Thinking that because they already defeated already in this realm, in this world, all right, because they're in the flesh, all right. So it's not about being exactly perfect in the flesh. It's about being perfect in the spirit.
Man, come on, brother. Romans 9 and Romans 3 and 19. And before that, somebody get Mark 7 and 6. Oh, we already read 3 and 19, didn't we? All the way to 8, 31.
We stopped at like 24.
Okay, we might keep going with right after this.
You said Mark 7 and 6.
Yeah, Mark 7 and 6 all the way to 8.
This is Mark chapter 7, verse 6. It says, he answered and said unto them, well hath Elias. He answered and said unto them, well hath Elijah's.
Basically Elijah.
Okay. Elijah prophesied of you, hypocrites, as it is written, this people honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me.
See, we went back to that again. You go out there, you see IUIC, they're honoring the God of the Bible with their lips, but their heart, where wisdom is supposed to dwell, is far from the Lord. Far from him, meaning in darkness. See that? Go ahead.
Howbeit in vain do they worship me.
In vain they worshiping him, man. Serving the Lord. They're serving the Lord in vain. All the works that they did and built up this congregation, it's going to be vanity. gonna be destroyed, man. Go ahead, brother. All these camps, man.
Teaching for doctrines.
Yep, teaching for doctrines.
The commandments of men.
Commandments of men, just like a thing y'all was talking about. See that? Commandments of men. All right, take your hat off. Wear your fringes, you know? Go ahead, brother.
Verse 8. For laying aside the commandments of God, ye hold the tradition of men as the washing of pots and cups and many other such like things ye do.
Right, because you had men at that time that was trying to scoff at Yahushua. All right, they were scoffing at Yahushua in that chapter, right? In that chapter, they were scoffing at Yahushua because he was eating with men that didn't wash their hands, and they were so petty. I bet you that was Iuic back then. You know, they were so petty. Like, look at why you sitting over there eating with them, and their hands dirty. They didn't wash their hands. But the Lord was like, yo, y'all worrying about. Read that again. That cup, the cup part. The Lord was comparing. Today they're talking about the fringes. He comparing that to them saying you're supposed to wash the cup, supposed to wash your hands. You know. Go ahead.
Verse 8. As the washing of pots and cups and many other such like things ye do.
See, and many other such like things ye do. Basically being petty. Basically back to the name of this video. They strain at a gnat and they swallow a camel.
I was watching a documentary about this short little documentary about Muslims and how to do Ramadan and stuff like that.
Right.
And the dude said he take a shower before he pray. He do it before every time he prays.
Right.
And if he can't take a shower, he'll wash his arms. He said he wash his arms specifically up to the elbow.
Yeah, that's like being superstitious.
I was like, bro, what? Like,
right. So he said what? Strain at a net and swallowing the camel, man. That means they treating the unimportant matters and they focusing on that. And they treating the bigger, weightier matters of the spirit and the kingdom in the heavens like it's nothing. Like they treat it carelessly, man. All right, I can swallow a camel like it's nothing. Yeah, okay, let me see you do it. You see that? So they treat it like it's nothing. They can, yeah, whatever. All right. Go ahead, bro.
It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 13, and verse 3. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, woe to the foolish prophets that follow their own spirit and have seen nothing. O Israel, thy prophets are like the foxes in the desert. Ye have not gone up into the gaps, neither made up the hedge for the house of Israel to stand in the battle in the day of the Lord.
Right, and to go up in the gaps is to what? To stand between, basically being a mediator, you know? To go between you and the Father. You know, because the Most High is going to destroy anything in his way. And somebody got to, like Moses. Anyway, Moses was standing in the gaps. Hey, yeah, just focus off. Forget that. It's cool. It'll come down here, we deal with it. But let's stand in the gaps. Standing in the gaps is basically playing the part of the mediator, man. And they're not doing that. They're not blowing the trumpet correctly. You know, they're letting whatever come to our people, man. The hirelings. That's what they are. You know, when the destruction comes, it's gonna be seen who they are, man, who they truly are. People that's about money, they the same ones. I mean, you can make money. That ain't my point. But people that you could tell they different, you know. The love of money is the root of all evil. They the same ones that's like on the Titanic. At the end, they want to stay on the ship and enjoy the pleasures of it. And besides that, the dude in the movie, Leonardo DiCaprio, that guy there, when he was about to die or whatever, that woman was on that little piece of door or whatever that was. Dang, you got good memory, bro. Just specifically, the door. Right, she was on that door, and she just let him die. It was a way to get out of that. It was so much space. It was a lot of space. He could have got out. So that's the way I look at people that chase money like that. But you gotta be in a predicament with them to see it. You know, and that's what the Lord gonna do. The Lord gonna put everybody in a predicament. And when that predicament shows up, the hiring gonna show. The hiring gonna disappear.
Come on, man. That's why I was talking with my family, man. Because you know, I was like, you got to look at hard times as faith boosters and building calluses of the mind. Because I said pretty soon we're all going to be on the same playing field. Everybody's going to be equal to everybody. So now we going through it right now, but these people ain't going to know what to do when that time comes, when everybody's on that same playing field.
Right. That's why the Lord said, let patience have a perfect work, that you may be entire, meaning complete, and faith having wanting nothing, man. All right, being complete, your cup gonna run over, and you're gonna be ready for the destruction to come. All right. Yep. So that's what the Lord want. He want Revelation 7 again. He said what? They holding back to the winds, the destruction, until the elect are sealed, man. Meaning the word seal really goes back to believing somebody for what. That word seal goes back to believing somebody and what they say. All right, I'm gonna say that again. That word seal goes back to believing somebody and what they say. Okay, so that's our job, to get each brother fully sealed to believe Yahushua and what he says is gonna happen, and that he's gonna protect you. Protect, damn, sure. Protect this house. Come on, brother. Come on, yeah, sure. Look, see that? Protect this house, man. That's right, brother. All right. So that's what we're looking for, the Lord's protection. All right. Zaria. Now you said it first, right? Go ahead, Zaria. Go ahead, Zaria.
All right. This is John chapter 10, verse 12, verse 11. Come on, verse 11. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. But he that is an hireling and not the shepherd.
Right. The Lord ain't asking you to die for his sheep. He's just saying, put your life on the line, meaning present your body as a living sacrifice. Go out and teach. They don't even do that. They don't teach in season, out of season. You know, and teach them the truth. Deny yourself and teach the truth, man. Save these people. Help them get out of the help them stop from being sheep led to the slaughter. All right, go ahead.
Whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming, and leaveth the sheep, and fleeth, and the wolf catcheth them, and scattereth the sheep.
There you go, man.
The hireling fleeth, because he is an hireling, and careth not for the sheep.
Right, man. See that? Yeah. See what happened? What happened? What happened when they started doing them lockdowns? First one you seen up there was ISUPK and IUIC. Somebody, it's cool. Go ahead and do it. You know, you gotta do it. You gotta have faith. Just go ahead and do it. You know.
Pretty sure if you ask Nate for some money because you're going through hard times, he'd be like, "Hey, follow the laws."
Better have a fun.
You never know. You never know. That's allegedly.
Yeah,
allegedly.
You know the Christian church shit that way.
Yep. Yo,
somebody die in your family and you go to the Christian church and all that, they ain't give nothing.
Oh, they gonna charge you to have a funeral.
Yeah, they'll charge you to have a funeral. Yeah.
All right, where we at? Come on, brother. Good points too, y'all. Hey, goodbye, scary brother.
This is Proverbs chapter 16, verse 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and the haughty spirit before a fall. So pride, you feel your pride raising up, you should feel your check engine light turning on. IUIC check engine light on. Cause they so proud. They putting their suit on, they in the casket. They don't even know. Speaking of funeral.
Right, brother. All right, let's keep going.
Because what pride comes
from
destruction.
Digging it, bit.
They got precepts on their damn.
Oh, they got precepts. All right, bro.
This is Jeremiah 17.
I believe it.
This is Jeremiah 17:5. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Lord." And our people, they full of pride. They full of pride. They full of worshiping men's doctrines, man. You know, and also falling after the wickedness of the world.
Right.
It says, "Cursed be the man that trusteth in man." Like the scripture says in Isaiah 31:1, it says, "Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help." You know, They're trusting in the strength of men instead of trusting in the strength of Yahweh Shai, man.
That's right, man. That's right. Let's finish that up.
IUIC gonna start sounding like Islam. The honorable Nathaniel gave us this truth.
Right, they did the same thing with Islam. You're right.
Yeah. They don't say the honorable Allah. They say Elijah, Muhammad. They say the man. They give more praise to the creation more than the creator.
Well, yeah. Allah is not his name.
Come on.
That's just the title. But where we at?
Romans chapter 3.
Romans 8.
Romans 3. He was going to start on 24.
Come on, let's do that.
All right.
Let's do that. Close it out. Any more precepts too, after that.
This is back at Romans chapter 3, verse 24. It says, being justified freely by his grace through the redemption.
Right, freely. There was nothing we can do for it. We didn't do anything for it, Yahweh gave his life for us. He gave it to us freely, man. That's a gift. All right, that's the gift. To give you something freely, that's grace. To give you a gift for something that you didn't deserve, that you did nothing for. So us having a chance of salvation, that's given to us freely, man. Go ahead. And justification, that means the Lord's name. He said, it's in the prayer. He said, anybody asking the Lord for wisdom, ask the Most High. He'll give it to you, because he upbraideth not, meaning he ain't keeping it away. You know, he give it what? Freely. You know, ask the Lord who giveth freely and upbraideth not. Now, upbraided means to keep away. So he's like, yo, it's open to you. The door is open. But they don't want to tell nobody that, man. Go ahead, brother.
God, it says, being justified freely by his grace.
Right. Not keeping the laws perfectly.
God. Through the redemption that is in Yahushua HaMashiach.
Right, man. Yep. That's where we get our justification from. Not the keeping of the laws. We love the laws, but we ain't justified by it. That's just a fact, man. You know, go ahead.
Verse 25.
Yeah, I would hate to talk to an IUIC member, man, because they ain't gonna hear none of this.
Exactly.
I don't want to talk to them.
It says, whom Yahweh hath set forth to be in propitiation through faith in his blood, to declare his righteousness for the remissions of sin that are passed through the forbearance of Yahweh.
All right, cool. Keep going. We can ride out with it. Go ahead.
Okay. It says, to declare, I say, at this time his righteousness.
To what? See? To declare at this time his righteousness. All right? And now, not our righteousness, but to declare his righteousness. What did I say? A cherry or something? I want in. Let me know. I'm searching. All right, go ahead.
It says,
yeah, a bunch of Nimbus clouds, though.
To declare, I say, at this time his righteousness, that he might be just and the justifier of him who believeth in Yahushua.
There you go, man. All right, so that's how we're justified through Yahushua, man, period. All right, go ahead. Let's go through it.
It says, where you at? Verse 27.
All right, let's run through it. Yeah,
it says, where is boasting then?
Right, where is boasting at, IUIC? If the Lord telling you it's a free gift, how can you boast about that? How can you boast about anything you've done? You know,
how can you sell a free gift? So like,
right. How can you sell a free gift? No, you ain't part. That's real. You know.
And it's the book of Acts, chapter 9, and verse 19. And this is pertaining to spiritual power. When I believe it was Peter and John had got the breath. And it's Acts 9 and 19 saying, give me also this power that on whomsoever I lay hands, he may receive the Holy Spirit. But Peter said unto him, thy money perisheth with thee, because thou hast thought that the gift of Yahweh may be purchased with money. You know, and that's how these carnal 2/3 of our people think it is, man. Gain is godliness. They think they can purchase and buy into what the Lord is giving, but it's ultimately a gift spiritually.
But that was another dude that was teaching right around the time Peter and them were teaching, but he had a lot of money, right? But he didn't have the power that they had. He couldn't do the things that, because he had a little movement too, but he couldn't do the things that they were doing. So he saw how the people were cleaving onto Peter. All right, so he's like, hey, give me this power that you got, man. I'll give you whatever for that. I'll pay you for it, because he had a lot of money. But Lord, Peter like, man, come on, man. You already done fucked up, because you think the money gonna get you what you need to get. You know what I'm saying? So that his thought process was messed up in the beginning. So he wasn't gonna be, that money was gonna stop him from receiving what was needed to be received to be a true prophet.
Right. That's why the Lord said, what? It's hard for a rich man to make it into heaven, man. You know? Yep.
This is back at
what was it?
About this and that.
Oh, bring this out real quick. Come on.
Precept.
Real quick.
All right. This is the book of This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 23, verse 23.
Right.
Buy the truth and sell it not.
Plain.
Also wisdom and instructions and understanding.
That's right, man. See that? So buy the truth and sell it not. Okay? That's just plain, man. So you gotta be willing. He said, what? You know, you want to buy the truth. He said, that's why he said, go up. What's it? Parable of the 10 virgins. 5 are wise, 5 are foolish. And the ones that show up late, IUIC members, they're gonna show up at the last minute.
Because how do you buy the truth?
That's right.
You pay for it with your time.
That's right, man.
You pay for it with your time. That's why the 10 virgins said, No, we can't give you what we have. We can't spend time. We try to teach you. We can't spend time teaching before we get left behind.
Yep.
So now you need to go out there and buy, do what you need to do to buy from whoever you can buy it from.
Yep. Go to them that buy and sell. That means to those that believe and don't believe. You know, the ones that buy and sell, man. Go to the ones that's, you know, these other camps, man. Deal with them. All right, you go to the YouTube.
When the breaches are closed, the shop is closed.
Shop closed, man. It's gonna be a famine of the word. It's gonna be too late, you know. And the stumbling blocks are gonna be stumbling blocks all the way to the end. That's it. They set there to be a stumbling block and to separate and make a sift amongst Israel. So they're gonna be there for that sift. You know, as long as like I see GJC, the comfy dude. The Lord destroyed their leader, man, and scattered that whole camp. All right. If the Lord, yeah, you want Nate to be destroyed. No, we don't. But we do want wickedness to stop. You know, how the Lord stops the wickedness is He destroys it. This dude was calling himself the Comforter, walking a thin line, buddy boy. Calling himself Elijah. Next thing, I'm the Lord. I mean,
well, they do got that picture. I don't know if somebody else did it, where they got him and the other dudes talking about the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit.
I did a video on that a while back. I ain't got the picture, but I did a video on that a while back.
He's playing with fire, man. General Yohana.
And then when he did this,
he called General Yohana calling himself the next thing under God. Go ahead, brother.
When they were doing the Nathaniel's back for being sick, they had a halo around and said making them look like Greek deities. They had them lit up, looking like Cesare Borgia.
Right, man. Those halos with our afros. You know, you look at all the old pictures on the you look at all the old pictures on the what's it called, the catacombs. They all got the afro, man. The light behind them, you see that glow. You know, yeah, I'm gonna have my halo. Strands of my hair gonna be like ropes. One hair. So yeah, now the halo is spiritual. You know, I'm kind of being sarcastic, but the halo is gonna be the elect glowing, man. You know, he said those that lead many to righteousness shall shine like the firmament of heaven. Let's keep going. Where was that? Precept real quick, and then we're gonna get Romans 3 and end it up.
1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 9. They that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition.
Yep.
For the love of money is the root of all evil, while when some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows.
There you go.
So IUIC doing it to themselves, basically all that stuff that they soaking in, they kind of like Esau in a way. They gonna get found guilty with.
Yeah, evidence against them.
Right. Now you good. They following after that root. That's why I said their foundation is corrupted. It's built upon the back of a swindler. What's his name? Nate. Chasing money. Anybody become a cop, you know they chasing money. A detective, you know they really chasing money. We saw Training Day. All right. Let's finish this up. Go ahead, brother. And then any precept is cool. Go ahead.
This is back at Romans chapter 3, verse 26. It says, to declare our sake at this time his righteousness, that he might be just and the justifier of him which believeth in Yahushua. It's man.
I ain't even want to look. I just felt the energy.
That was a man.
Yeah, I can't even look, man. I looked at you.
Anyways, verse 27 of Romans chapter 3, it says, where is boasting then? It is excluded. By what law? Of works? Nay, but by the law of faith. Therefore, we conclude that a man is justified by faith without the deeds of the law.
There you go. So we're justified by faith without the deeds of the law, man. All right. You got to know that. Does that mean don't keep the law? Keep going.
It says, verse 29, is he the God of the Jews only? Is he not also of the Gentiles? Yes, of the Gentiles also.
Oh, so
right. No, good.
So understanding that, because if it was just justified just only by the law, how are those that weren't going according to the law, that were blind to the law at that time, that were in a Gentile state of mind, how are they going to be brought back in? All right, so they made a way for them to come back in through Yahushua, man.
Right. Did somebody read Galatians 2 already?
16.
Yeah, go. You read 17 too?
I don't think I read.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, let's go to 17 real fast and interjection.
And this is the book of Galatians, chapter 2, and verse 17. But if while we seek to be justified by Yahushua Mashiach, we ourselves also are found sinners. Is therefore Yahushua Mashiach the minister of sin? Yahweh forbid.
See that? That's the point. See, Yahushua is not the minister of sin. He came to teach us how to keep the law. And he kept the law perfectly. But he wanted to tell us, like, yo, stop boasting, man. He mainly was cutting the circumcision, saying stop boasting against the branches that were broken off, because they could be grafted back in. You know, stop telling them they got to be circumcised to be grafted back in, because that ain't going to get them saved no more. That's not going to be able to bring them back into the sheepfold no more. All right? All right, man. Howdy doody. Tiddly doodly, neighbor. All right, let's keep going.
Quick interjection.
Yeah, come on, brother.
And it's Romans 11 and 19. God would say then, the branches were broken off that I might be grafted in. Well, because of unbelief, they were broken off. And thou standest by faith. Be not high-minded, but fear.
Right, man. Be not high-minded, man, but fear. Iuic.
You once was in the congregation of the dead.
Woo, that was perfect, brother. Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Israelites of the Bible. Right, man. The truth of the word is here, man. These churches lying to you. The Lord is a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah. His name Yahushua. All right. They killed him in 37 AD. Anno Domino, the year of our Lord. He about to return. All right. Look into it, man. All right. You need a flyer, man. Y'all want a flyer? All right, cool. I already know. Yeah, testing it. See that? Yeah, called it bluff. Oh, where was that? Go ahead.
This is back at Romans chapter 3, verse 30.
He'd be like this. Yeah, we want a flyer? No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Right.
It says, seeing it is one God, which shall justify the circumcision by faith, and uncircumcision through faith. Verse 31. Do we then make void the law through faith? Yahweh forbid. Yea, we establish the law.
Right, man. So through faith, we're not trying to say we're making void the law. We're saying through faith, we're going to establish the law. You see that? The law is established, what? The law of faith. And that's the law for the spirit, you know, that will govern the flesh. All right. So the fringe is not the fringe today that we wear. You know, we wear this rehearsing the righteous acts in sackcloth. You know, and we got to struggle with the fringes because they got all the damn fringes. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's about the fringe of the heart. You know, something to look upon that's in the mind, the spirit. And who is that? Yahushua, man. And we look to the works that he's done, and the works that the former prophets have done, and the works that Yahweh has done on this earth, like the brother Barak was speaking on earlier. All right, we look into the history and the sacrifice that Yahushua did, and the elect. He said we put on as the elect. So we look at the sacrifices that Paul, Peter, John, and all of them have done. All right, and they weren't boasting about fringes. They weren't boasting about circumcision. You know, these small minor things like a gnat. You know, they were boasting about the weightier matters, the kingdom, which is why I like to see. All right, the heavier matters. So anybody got a precept? Anything? Y'all good? Got one? Oh man.
This is Luke chapter 19 and 27. But those my enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring them hither and slay them before me.
Right, man. See that? So the Lord gonna slay these damn dudes, man. He gonna tell the angels to bring them before him, cast them into the lake of fire, man. Everybody, oh, you want us to get destroyed? No, we're reading what the scriptures say about the wicked. People that's not doing it correctly. If your shoe fits, wear it.
We want the wickedness within you to be destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a nice way of saying it.
So within that, you'll be destroyed.
Yeah.
Thus saith the Lord.
Yeah.
Say, I wasn't gonna let that go.
All right, so we're gonna end it there, man. Hopefully you're edified. Hey, Shalom, humble lion, man. Yeah, you know, you might have to be a branch of this camp. You never know. You know what I mean? But Yara, I hope you, Yara, whatever your name is, you know, do the work, man. Do something. Shit. So we're gonna end it there, man. We're gonna give praise to the Most High, and yeah, man. The fringes, all right, it's spiritual, okay. You wear them to come out here and teach, all right. So with that, we're gonna say, Kal, Alayim, La, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Ha, Rakah, Kodash, Ma. All right, double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders, and shalom to you, Akim and Akwatim, and children that still believing in sincerity and the truth and avoiding the snakes and the fakes, man. You know, and reminder, this is about spiritual friends, a spiritual garment. And you can wear a garment. You can wear fringes on your daily stuff, but hey, it could be a target. But we already targeted anyway. But don't boast in that, okay? Don't boast in the law. Don't boast in saying you keeping the law perfectly and all that. All right? But we love the law. We love the fringes and all that. So, you know what I mean? So with that, we're going to end it. You know, say shalom.
Shalom.
Bye, Yara. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. Bye, buddy.